Hi. Hello. My cow's being annoying. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Can you guys see me and hear me? Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. Can you guys see me and hear me? Hello. It is hump day. Hello, hello. 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 It's Melly time. It is Melly time, and it is not for the faint of heart. I was thinking about that all day today. Someone said that. Who said that last night? I'm gonna have to go back through the comments. Hello. Hi, I hope you guys are having a good week. Thank you for being here. We're getting into it tonight. I needed a break from the 𝐻𝐥𝐥𝐲 stuff, the usual true crime. So we're going to get into something a little bit different. If you saw the title, you know. Let me say hello to everyone. I saw Laura here, Michelle, Kara, and I did see KK has a lot to say, became a member earlier. We already talked in the comments. Thanks. Thank you, Lovey, for becoming a member. It really helps the channel. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I am Melly. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be covering the situation with Lauren Matthias from Hidden True Crime. It is trigger warning, just trigger warning. Well, I guess trigger warning to like all of my videos because we talk true crime and it's brutal. This isn't necessarily true crime. It's more of a civil matter, but there's been a cyber bullying stalking situation that Lauren from Hidden True Crime has been in. If you know, you know. I know it's been on a lot of channels as of recent. I wasn't going to cover it because it is such a like controversial, I think, controversial subjects, but it's more common than people think. And bullying has long-term effects, and I'm very much against that. And I have been through a bullying situation here on YouTube actually last year. So when I saw this, I was like, oof, that kind of hits home. And I think it's important to talk about it. And there's a lot of controversy from people all over the YouTube streets. Some people think like, this is terrible. And some people think she's full of shit. And I'm just going to be honest. I don't know how else to say it. But with that being said, we're going to watch the live. We're gonna I think we're gonna watch the whole thing. I know that's a lot. Not tonight. Well, maybe tonight. I don't know. Depends. I do just want to watch it all because if I'm gonna speak on it, which it's hard not to because there's Reddits about this. Like if you didn't know, there's like Reddits about this, there's Substacks about this. Like it's gotten a little out of control. And um I respect people's opinions, and so yours is welcome here. But we keep it cool here. I am very like strict about that. So like everyone is welcome. I love everyone and everyone can come here and support, and I really, really do appreciate it. But like I do ask that we stay respectful. You don't have to agree with everyone. That's not what I'm saying. You're welcome to even disagree with me. I don't get upset about it. I'm very level-headed, I feel like, in when it comes to those kinds of situations. And so we're gonna just get into it. I might fast forward through a lot of like the crying parts just because like I ugly cry too. And so like I don't know, it kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. Is that weird? Um, so anyways, let me know what you think. I know it's been crazy out there. Let me know what you think. My heart does go out to Lauren, regardless of what everyone thinks. I don't wish that upon anyone, whether it's true or not. At least I can say that out loud and be good with myself. Like, hopefully she's okay, whether it's true or not. Like, I don't know. Some people say it's not. There's documents. She goes through the whole thing in like a 9-hour live. But I saw bigger channels reviewing it too. So I was like, you know what? I think we should review it. I really do. So we're taking a break from the 𝐻𝐥𝐥𝐲 text. We'll be back with those tomorrow. Let's get started. Let me pull up the comments on the screen. I already saw you guys talking about it too. And please hit that like button. Oh, okay, yeah. A few housekeeping things. Please hit the like button. Hype me up if you can. Also comment down below. Share my channel. And I saw a lot of people saying something about like, oh my God, Melly, why so many ads? You know what? I just have it set like automatic with YouTube. And that's why it's important for you to hit the like maybe less ads if you guys hit the like button. You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing me like that? I come on here and read text messages and you can't even hit the like button for like hours. Anyways, I love you guys. No harm. But yeah, hit the like button. But ads do help channels. And so just keep that in mind when you're not a YouTube premium subscriber. Anyways, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let's get started with the live. And I'll finish saying hi to you guys in just a second. Where she's actually in bed. Yeah. My own family has said worse things. She threatened to release Laura's Mean Girls text. Which is your favorite? Oh, hi, Whittle. I dipped in and didn't see the whole thing. Okay. Hey, Cree. You did, Mallory? Mallory, you're a trooper, babelet. Wow. So you know already. Cover it. Cover it. Okay. I will. I am right now. I'm not going to sing to you guys tonight. So don't think this is like a, hey, Lisa Marie. Shout out to all the members too that stay supporting the channel. Michelle Lalonde has been a babelet for a very long time, over a year now, I think. She is an OG. So thank you, thank you, thank you. KK became a member today. All right. Hey, Debbie. I saw Debbie pop in here too. And did I say First Liberty? Oh, yes, I did. I listened to a lot of it while doing other things. Okay. Yeah, I know. You're not allowed to sing without Modelo's. Don't call me out when I'm up here talking about something else. No, yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're gonna probably do that this weekend again. So it might just only be members only. So definitely consider it if you, I don't even know, like to see people think they can do karaoke, me, aka me. I had a good time. So it's happy it's my first membership. You're the best. Thank you. KK has a lot to say. Did you see the big balls I sent you on Discord? I did. My Discord is very private. I only have like 15 people in there. So I might consider dropping a link if you guys want to join. So let me know how you want the screen, because I was thinking like I was going to do equal parts. And you're like, what does that mean? So I was thinking like I would do like this. Or do you guys want me smaller or bigger? What do you want? Let me know. Free speech. Yes. Free speech. She seemed like a very sweet, kind lady. I don't know what's going on with this one. So just a little bit of the information. Lauren from Hidden True Crime claims that she's being stalked and harassed and bullied by, I don't really even know the true characters. This is why I wanted to come and watch it here. I think her name's Christina. Anyways, this it got legal. It was supposed to be a whole thing. It was like a civil injunction for like restraining order, and Lauren from Hidden True Crime ended up canceling because I think of reasons because of her son, and people are like, why did you cancel it if she were that scared of her? The other party saying, no, that's not true. And so this is just like my channel too, my opinion only. I'm not a lawyer. Like I said, I have experience with this. So I haven't made my own opinion. I do want to say that. Like, I haven't made my own opinion yet. I need to watch the whole thing because I've watched bits and pieces. I haven't watched it in its entirety. And I also, I have been talking to it with a couple of like my mods, but I don't want to speak on it really and give a full blown opinion until I watch it all. And then if those are the true documents, then cool. I do love documents. You know, we go based off of a lot of documents here. But also I would like to hear the other party, and I haven't really looked into that side of it. So we're just gonna watch this with open eyes and open ears, open brains. Okay, enough of me yapping. Hey, Chuck's granddaughter. Okay, I see your comments. Oh, she's quiet.
We're going to go through a lot. So get ready. My hand has been forced. I am very uncomfortable sitting here. But the reason and where I have found my bravery to do this is really, again, for my little boy. Do you want to know a wrath of a mother? Here I am.
Trigger warning, there is a lot of crying. Let me know if you can hear okay. Put your headphones in if you need it. How long are we going to watch this until I pass out up here? It's her son, and I think he's 8. Yes, it is her son. It's, yeah. Why did she drop the case? She's saying she didn't drop the case because law and crime. I did just want to say that too. I don't have problems with law and crime, but Lauren says that law and crime kind of came in between the court hearing. But I've heard differing things as well. And at the end of the day, like, it's probably public documents regardless. So like, kind of just sucks, right? And she came on to YouTube and put her whole story on here. That's what we're watching. So like, I don't think, and she hasn't, I don't think she would, but I think people are free speech. We're open to talk about it because she's the one who brought it on this social media platform in the first place. And so I do just want to say that. Like I said, I haven't formed an opinion yet, but
okay. And so we're going to begin. I need to collect my thoughts. I know what's next, but really quickly, I have my producer Grayson here with me, helping me. Let me just ask you, it's going to be a long live, so sit in. I might need a bathroom break at some point. I haven't been able to eat. I'm not eating. So I have root beer here for sugar high. I have my water. Really quickly, Grayson, do we want to start with what a civil stalking injunction is in Utah or before? Okay. So let me share with everyone now. Do you have that pulled up? This is going to be a really raw live. Get ready.
I do have to say, when you put your business out there like this, you have to accept both sides, right? Like, I always look at both sides. Sometimes people get pissed off at me too, but like, you have to, it's like a two-way street here, homegirl. So like, at the end of the day, it sucks. And I feel for her. I really do.
So let's just go over stalking in Utah. A judge can grant an order that tells one person, a respondent, to stop stalking another person or petitioner if the respondent did the following toward the petitioner. Followed, yes. Monitored, yes. Observed, yes. Photographed, yes. Surveillance, yes. Threatened, yes. Communicated to or about the petitioner or interfered with the petitioner's property using any action, method, device, or means. Or, let's see what else. The respondent engaged in or caused someone else to engage in the following acts. Approached or confronted the petitioner, yes. Appeared at petitioner's workplace or contacted petitioner's employers or coworkers, yes. Appeared at petitioner's home or contacted petitioner's neighbors or entered property owned, no. Sent material, oh, thank you, look at that, highlighted. Sent material to the petitioner by any means for the purpose of obtaining or disseminating information about the petitioner to a family member, household member, employer, coworker, friend, or associate, yes. Use a computer or the internet, text messages, or any other electronic means, yes. The respondent had to do the behavior 2 or more times and in a way that would cause a reasonable person to suffer emotional distress.
Wait, I think I skipped like the first part of it where you guys hear like, let me go back. This might make a little more sense now. You're like, why did she just get right to the document?
Okay, everyone.
Here we go.
I've never been more nervous for a live in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives or a show in my entire life. And this is not a live or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought I would have to do. And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama. Hidden True Crime doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that. And those of you that know us know that.
We do. Thank you. KK has a lot to say with the super sticker. She became a member today and a super sticker. Thank you, Babelit. I appreciate that so much. Really helps the channel. You are awesome. Shout out to you. If the stalking happened, yeah, I think there's some stalking involved. So trigger warning if you guys have been through that.
So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life what has been going on with my family and with me for months that I decided to go to where I felt would protect me. And that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction because what was happening to me and my family met Utah's civil stalking injunction code. The stalker was in Utah. And it was very clear to me that that was the step that I should take. And I was granted a temporary civil stalking injunction after I filed my evidence and my exhibits before the judge. That was served, and my stalker was served a temporary civil stalking injunction. Thank God. And the next step to that, after filing a civil stalking injunction, is to hope to make it permanent.
Ooh.
And that was going to be on Thursday. And then do you know what happened? Somehow, someone decided to let Law and Crime know about my civil stalking injunction. And Law and Crime decided that they deserved to have cameras in the courtroom. Well,
that's rough. That's rough. It's rough in the sense of, I think she's worried about her family. I get that. But it's like, at the same time, if you're civilly going after someone, you, like I said, you got to accept the other side of it, right? Someone said, I mean, Michelle says they granted it, but then she dropped it. Yeah, they did grant it. It was a whole thing. So I think it was, to the judge, worthy of more hearings, but she ended up canceling it because Law and Crime found out, and Law and Crime wanted to have their cameras and stuff in there, which, okay, so don't come for me, but like, I kind of get it. And then I agree and I don't agree. I guess I can play devil's advocate as well, because like, for one sense, like, yeah, I know true crime covers a lot of true, or Law and Crime covers a lot of true crime, but like, I feel like Lauren is, an independent like creator, so she doesn't have this whole media thing. Well, she's pretty big though. Her channel's pretty big. It's not the same as Law and Crime, so I don't know what Law and Crime would want to do there to cover it. I know other creators that have had legal situations and Law and Crime's not there, but so I thought that was rather interesting, like why they selected that crime to have their cameras be present. But also at the same time, if it's as serious as it is, why cancel it? Like, why not just get that all out there, right?
I'm explaining what my family has been going through for months. The Law and Crime, I don't know, is it a slow true crime month? They thought
No.
that my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel. I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. And yes, I've become a limited public figure. I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm not Amber Heard. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family and my little boy. And I am a journalist who has never, ever in my life heard of anyone streaming a civil stalking injunction. Ever. It is not something you do. And why? Because it's someone that is being abused, that is attempting to escape something dangerous. I never wanted to do this live. But because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction because I am never, ever going to let my child's mental health be live streamed for entertainment. And I find it disgusting that anyone would want to do that to me or my family, a civil stalking injunction. My 8-year-old's mental health is not your entertainment. I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation and the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to keep it private.
I do have to say, like, it's definitely not private now. She brought it to the YouTubes. Has anyone realized how wild it is on YouTube? Like, for real. If you've been around long enough, I've been on YouTube since 2011. That's a long ass time. Yeah, Laura, I agree. You're doing it out loud.
Not live streamed to millions of people watching Law and Crime. And so, if Law and Crime thinks that my family's pain and emotional turmoil is worthy to be on their channel, that they're going to be pool, which means they can share it to all media platforms. This is just for everybody. Then I'm going to take back my narrative. And I'm going to own my narrative. And I'm going to tell you everything tonight. We're going to go through every filing. We're going to go through a lot. So get ready. My hand has been forced. I am very uncomfortable sitting here. But the reason and where I have found my bravery to do this is really, again, for my little boy. Do you want to know a wrath of a mother? Here I am.
This is a little awkward. Can she do that? Ooh. She did put part of it on Patreon. I did see that. I need a Modelo to watch this. I got one. She looks pretty good even 9 hours crying. My hand has been forced. Oh, I'm sorry, Lorianne. I know, I'm sorry. The crying makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. And so we're going to begin. I need to collect my thoughts. I know what's next, but really quickly, I have my producer Grayson here with me, helping me. Let me just ask you, it's going to be a long live, so sit in. I might need a bathroom break at some point. I haven't been able to eat. I'm not eating. So I have root beer here for sugar high. I have my water. Really quickly, Grayson, do we want to start with what a civil stalking injunction is in Utah or before? Okay. So let me share with everyone now. Do you have that? Hold up. This is going to be a really raw live. Get ready.
Oh, she said, get ready. Her producer, Grayson, I think, is there with her too. So that's who she's referring to. Get ready.
So
right? For me,
let's just go over stalking in Utah. A judge can grant an order that tells one person, a respondent, to stop stalking another person or petitioner if the respondent did the following toward the petitioner. Followed, yes. Monitored, yes. Observed, yes. Photographed, yes. Surveillance, yes. Threatened, yes. Communicated to or about the petitioner or interfered with the petitioner's property using any action, method, device, or means. Or, let's see what else. The respondent engaged in or caused someone else to engage in the following acts. Approached or confronted the petitioner, yes. Appeared at petitioner's workplace or contacted petitioner's employers or coworkers, yes. Appeared at petitioner's home or contacted petitioner's neighbors or entered property owned, no. Sent material, oh, thank you, look at that, highlighted. Sent material to the petitioner by any means for the purpose of obtaining or disseminating information about the petitioner to a family member, household member, employer, coworker, friend, or associate, yes. Use a computer or the internet, text messages, or any other electronic means, yes. The respondent had to do the behavior 2 or more times and in a way that would cause a reasonable person to suffer emotional distress or be afraid for the person's own safety or the safety of someone else. Yes. And I'm going to point out, it looks like Grayson did not highlight threatened. I'm going to throw threatened in there because what happened after the stalking injunction, I took as threats as well as other things. You can decide for yourself because we'll go through it all. Okay. Let's start with this. It's going to be a very vulnerable video of myself behind the scenes. I never thought or knew if I would make this video public. I only revisited it again today. But this was a month-ish ago. And I was dealing with ideation, self-harm. It's the first time in my life that I have been experiencing this because of everything happening. And so at that
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that part.
point, I was with Grayson and I was not okay. And Grayson said, Lauren, I'm going to record this. She gave me permission to record. Don't worry, we'll never share this, but I want you to know there's hope. I want you to know that there's hope. And you have talked so passionately about now helping people with cyberbullying. that maybe one day, like as a journalist, you need to start recording this process and what you're feeling. So trusting Grace and knowing that she'd hopefully never make this public without my permission. And it was my phone. I said, yeah, okay, whatever, but don't ever show this to anyone. But I watched it, and we are going to watch 20 minutes of it before we begin, so you guys can understand just a bit of what I've been going through. And it's not all of it, but it's 20 minutes of a video. It's very, very raw. I'm feeling very vulnerable. And I feel like this is very, very important, because if I'm going to do this live, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to do it honestly. This is going to be a very...
Well, I think right would honestly be if the other person was on the live as well. Just my humble opinion. But someone said, why record herself when you're going like in bed like this? I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but that's me personally. Laura?
Honest show. So, and then after that, we'll go through everything else. So let's watch this.
Whether or not this goes through, I don't know. I think that's where I think I'm willing to start talking. Because I always just want to do things right. When they go low, you go high, and just do things right and rely on maybe responsible people to help. But I don't know if that's going to happen in this situation, and that's okay. But if it can't happen in this situation, that no laws or legal things can help me, then I at least want to finally talk about it, use my voice, and share what's been happening. Because I do want to help with cyberbullying now, and I know that I'm a public figure. I've never been. Hold on, just stop for a second. I was really zen before you started. Hold on.
Is she recording this herself, or is someone recording it? Because that's intense if someone's recording it.
Sorry, I can't even process that. I don't know. Oh, so you fucking clean it. I'm sorry. Oh, and I want John. And I'm worried about John. And I'm worried about my son. Fuck. But I just think, sorry. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything will be okay. It really will. But I'm a really resilient person, in my opinion. It's texting. You're good. What? You're good. Is it John?
If you see me laughing, it's because of you guys in the comments. You know who you are.
It's actually your Vicky. And it's gonna be okay. But I don't know what to say. Other creators calling people I care about to tell them lies about me, slut shaming me. One woman is going around saying
She said slut shaming her, but she's married. Who would be slut shaming her?
lived with her brother, which, by the way, if I had lived with some random dude in East Idaho, who the hell cares? But this is a guy I went on a single date with, never kissed, but now I've lived with him. What else? Finding out, like I said, fellow podcasters are calling people that I know to warn them about me and tell them that I had an affair on John with an investigator in the Daybell case.
Okay, but hold on. Hold up. We do have to admit that getting families involved, I am very much against that. Speed it up a bit. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Let me know. How fast should we do it? 1.25? I don't like that they are involving her family in her job, but again, Monica's like, this is weird.
That John knows really well and is friends with. That, I mean,
it's been unending.
The things I've had to continue to clarify every day, and then when I finally feel like I get a hold of it, so it's not just like the cyberbullying that's public, it's what's going on beneath the surface. That's so cruel, and none of these people have been willing to reach out and be like, fucking reach out to me. People that know me, that I've been kind to, are going behind my back telling people lies about me. No evidence. Never mind that they're supposed to be journalists. You have Lori Hellis, someone I've been good to, that I've never bothered before. I was always good to her, claiming that I gave out 10,000 copies of her book and she's telling everyone, to the point where we got to get an attorney. But I've never sent out free copies of her book to anyone, ever. Telling the person that originally sent it to me that I did that to them. And then, of course, when she accuses us of that, I then send it to our attorney. I guarantee you none of you received a book copy of Lori Hellis's book from me, despite allegedly 10,000 people. The idea that we were purposely changing our time, by the way, too. No, we had to get a babysitter. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. But it's like what this group mob mentality has been doing is taking all these old beefs and they're reaching out to them. And there was a whisper campaign is the best way to say it. It's adult bullying, it's group bullying. It's believing without seeing. Screenshots of mine have been shared. Some when I've been angry at other creators. Got over it later.
Wait, she says she's been angry at other creators. That means that she was talking about other creators. She was talking about other channels that probably she didn't want stuff. Her text messages to get out. Because who has she had beef with? I'm a true crime channel, so I do keep up with like the beefs, at least for the bigger channels. And I haven't heard her have problems with anyone. But then again, I don't watch her religiously. I can appreciate their work though.
Those have been being shared. I'm ashamed of that. Maybe you can edit that later, but I'll just share everything right now. But I've owned it. I've owned that.
You said sorry to the people that needed it.
I said sorry to them. But those people have continued on. Nobody again reaching out to me. And I have to be honest. Entire rooms shunning me where I belong, where I've helped, where I've given my entire heart to and soul, being shunned because of lies and of a whisper campaign and of adults who can't come to me and ask me what's true and what isn't, but rather go and start a cyberbullying campaign and join it and follow it as the lies continue, as they talk about my dead brother and my husband. And you know what it is? It's being dubbed dark. Like, that's what John and I have been talking about a lot too. Like, I feel like I'm like Charles Vallow running around, like trying to get people to understand what's going on and trying to figure out what's happening, and no one will talk to me. And then all of a sudden I get labeled dork.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's not me. I'm good. This isn't me. And then just wondering about this world in general, I think I've been really depressed because I just think about this world in general and raising my son in it. And like, if there's any hope for kindness in this world and compassion and evidence, how about evidence? Real journalism, when you actually go to the person. Not, you know, realizing people are complex. That I'm complex. That I am who I am. Online, that is me. That is my genuine self, but maybe there's a little bit more to me too. That I don't show everybody. And just because I don't see it, it doesn't mean I don't know, seriously, that I'm not. And if people are wondering if I've stopped talking to more people online, my friends, my hidden gems, yeah, I have.
I don't know really why she's recording herself here. Like, I'm assuming she wanted evidence that like she was going through it, but this is very awkward.
Because I've always wanted to communicate and be close to hidden gems. But as I've done this past year, I've learned that there's a lot of them that just want to destroy me if they don't get out of me what they want. And if I don't act the way they want me to act or say what they want me to say. Then they want to destroy me. Or if I speak up, I think a lot of this too is I've always spoken my mind. I don't know. I'm getting in the weeds. I don't know.
I think you can.
But yeah, I speak the truth. And when I see it, I say it. And when I think someone's a bully, I say they're a bully. But I guess that means the bully comes and bullies you when they learn that you think they're a bully. And that people, I just learned that people like public shaming. I don't know. I just worry about this world. That is cruel.
Yeah.
And I am human. I'm human. And I put myself out there. And for those reasons, I deserve more scrutiny and criticism. And I believe in public discourse and to criticize me when people feel I'm not doing what's right or best in the public eye. I deserve that. It's not what this is.
Yeah.
And the fact that rather than focus on making good art, which is what we say here in True Crime, it's quality over quantity, doing good. I've had to worry about my reputation, but also other people. I worry about you, Grayson. I worry about my husband. I worry about my little boy who's been really affected by this.
It's like consumed our lives.
Because it doesn't stop and nobody can see it. And that's what frustrates you. People are like, don't give it air. I know, I say it every day.
I don't get why her son is involved though. Like, is it because he's been hearing about it though? Or how is he involved? Because I thought the issue was with Lauren and allegedly between her and the stalker. Are they like coming for her son too? I don't know. What am I missing?
Move forward every day, pushing through and performing because it doesn't, we know that. And I've never reacted to it until this moment publicly. Well, I don't think this will be public, but like just, who knows, one day it might be. Like, I just want to like record this for like
Journal.
Yeah, or if it's ever needed for a documentary or to show my little boy that he's being cyberbullied and I can get to what he can't do. But like, it's like, it's so hard to explain to people like nobody can see it, not even my friends. Like, my dearest friends, I'll talk to them about it, and they're like, just don't get online. I mean, it's what we all want to say. That's not it. There is a consistent and constant whisper campaign going on, and they're pulling new people in, and they're trying to destroy me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to say.
Oh, okay. Twisted Stitches said the stalker took pictures of her son at school, soccer in her house. Okay, I do draw the line there. So I will say I would flip. Luckily, in California, everyone carries firearms, but that is too much if it's true.
They've succeeded, but I have changed a lot in the past 6 months. And not for the better. I don't think I'll ever be as kind or open to people that I meet at trials or people I hire. I think I'm going to be less social. I think I'm going to probably be more of a homebody. I don't know if I'll travel as much to trials anymore. I'll still make good work and I'll get past this. But I think I worry about John's health. He's not healthy, and I worry. His blood pressure is up. He's in more pain, he's angry. Calling fucking UNLV.
I think in some ways, maybe I can share like an observation. I've seen you almost like not question yourself, but like they filled your head with so many lies about yourself to the point where you've been like, did I do this? Could I do this? And you know, things like messages where they've like told you that you talk badly about these victims and things like that. And like, I'll be the first person to say it. Like, this may never go up, but like, I went through 6 years of your private messages. It took me 40 to 50 hours. I think I know you better than anybody in the world does.
You guys,
aside from John.
Imagine 6 years of Facebook Messenger messages,
Text messages, everything.
and finding out.
So this producer, her friend, went through all of that. Kids are off limits, full stop. I agree. Chuck says granddaughter.
People are saying horrible things about me because I said horrible things in private messages that are leaking. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I'm gonna be the first to be honest. Like 6 years of messages. I hope all of you would be afraid. I hope you'd be afraid too. And so,
Oh yeah,
6 years of messages talking every day.
y'all want 6 years of messages from my crazy ass. Let me say, you might cry, you might hurt your eyeballs. Like, it's too much. It's too much.
A lot of it's like bar talk, right? Like even drinking, like having like a glass of wine and sitting and talking to friends, and then these friends get angry at you, they turn on you, and they clip them in weird ways. And so I was like, Grayson, like I couldn't get a hold of it. I was so confused. I finally was like, Grayson, because I kept hearing things I said and I couldn't find them, or then I figured out and I was like, that's so taken out of context. Like, come on. And so I said, Grayson, you have a new job. That was not in your job description. You are to go through 6 years of my messenger messages and texts, everything I have ever sent since, not 6 years, was it 5.5, 5 years?
Started in what, 2019 or 2020? 2020.
He said, you're about to know me better than my husband, John, because John would want to do this. And these are like probably like journals they didn't want to burn. You know what I mean? And you're like, I said that one night, but I only felt like that for an hour, but it's now there forever.
Right.
So, and so you did it. You did it.
I think there were 4.
She knew the assignment. how many days and how many hours?
It took a lot of days. There were a lot of nights I was up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning going through, figuring out, okay, this one, we could talk about one. I think it's really funny. Everyone has this rumor that you called somebody a swinger, and you were like, where did this come from? I don't remember ever doing that. And I was like,
this person's not a swinger. I never thought this person was a swinger. What is this? And everyone's like, she called her a swinger. I'm like, she defamed me. She told everyone who's a swinger. I'm like, Who the hell did I call a swinger?
So
I didn't call anyone a swinger.
I went through.
You found it on accident.
I found it. I found it.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Alsane has a really good point. We went through years of McCrazy's text. Where's our praise? Yo, we went through freaking. You know how many? I did 30 parts for 2020 and 2021. 30 lives, and I usually do like 3 hours. It's true.
I called you giggling and I said, Lauren, I found it. You did call somebody a swinger. It was because they were on a swing in their profile picture and you made a joke, but they got clipped. That got clipped. So like, you know, and there's been a lot of those.
It was
messages.
somebody on a profile picture of a swing, as this person will tell you we've never been friends. And someone said, look at this picture of her swinging. And I said, why do I think she dabbled in swinging?
And you didn't
Is she a swinger? Who cares?
remember it because
Do what you want as long as it's not affecting me. I really don't care. Do whatever you want. I come up here and shake my ass. Do whatever you want.
it was.
It's never been shared outside of the text messages. In
No,
fact,
it was you and two other people.
screenshots have been passed around of this, and it's actually not the real screenshot.
Yeah.
It's like, but I said it.
I mean, it was you and two other people. in
Yeah,
that
that's a
chat.
great example.
Um,
You also said I'm a lot funnier than you thought.
I did. I did. I was like, I will say, I think we've gotten closer through this.
What did you say? You said there are a lot of dynamics going on here.
I joked. I said, I think I know the dynamics of true crime better than anybody at this point. I can walk in a room and see somebody I've never met and be like, this person connected that person because that person hates that person and that person's brother did this to that one. No, but you know, but that shows you the context, right? You might have called somebody an asshole one day and that got clipped and sent to them, but really, if the full messages came out, you called that person an asshole because
Okay, so I will say it. I don't support bullying. I don't condone it, but it sounds like she's trying to save face here. Like there's text messages where she was talking shit on people, and it's fine. We all talk shit about people. It happens. We don't get along, whatever. We're human at the end of the day. But I do feel like there's obvious text messages about other people on YouTube that are there because they're trying to say that like, oh well, yeah, at some point you called that person asshole, and it's like, well, tell me how you really felt. Like, you know what I mean?
a victim was on the defense for something and you were protecting them, right?
Yeah, I was actually always protecting victims. Well, that's what's.
I think that's been like, you know, and
Oh, I think the other thing too is like I am a lot more colorful behind the scenes.
we love a good F word.
John and I, we like to keep our podcasts clean. It's clean language. That's who we are. Like we just want to keep it clean. But the language I use
Not me. I'm a dirty asshole. Just kidding.
when I'm not on camera isn't always clean.
I'd quit.
I don't know
I mean,
if that makes any fucking sense, but
People are like, I'm unsubscribing from Melly.
Oh. The most vulnerable video I've ever showed here, but I do pride myself on being a very honest person. So who you know on camera is me. And that was a little bit more of me behind the scenes that I don't show because yes, there are parts of my life that I like to keep private.
I go through shit, but trust me, as much as I love you, babelets, like I might record myself doing my makeup, shaking my ass, getting drunk, singing to you guys, but I probably won't record myself like crying and stuff like this. I don't know. I just think it's kind of awkward. Thank you, Reginald. I have sat through all of them. You did the whole 9 hours? All hell, Melly. Thank you. You're so kind for that super chat. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here if you already heard these. Sometimes I think it's important to hear things again, because like, I don't know, I think it's perspective and stuff. But yeah, thank you for being here and thank you for the super chat. What are you crafting, by the way? I'm curious.
So we're going to go through everything. A lot of you are maybe asking questions during that. I don't understand. I want to start with that because I think that you're going to understand it all a lot more as we go through everything tonight. So here we go. I'm going to start, by the way, when I say everything, Not to get you guys scared, but these are all the court filings. And we got exhibits and we got evidence. So before we delve in to my first declaration, which is what got me the temporary civil stalking injunction, I'm going to set the stage and give you guys a bit of a timeline. So let's just explain a few things that matter. As many of you know that are my hidden gems, I call this setting the stage. Let's set the stage before getting into all these documents. And that takes us to April of 2024. I also want to point something out. I am not going to use my stalker's name during this video. So I am going to refer to her as my stalker. That's what I will be dubbing her. April of 2024 is when it all begins. That is when I meet my stalker in Boise, Idaho at the Chad Daybell trial. And she shows up for a few days attending as public. She's public. She's interested in the case she's watching. She introduces herself as a fan of my podcast, and she gifts me a cell phone microphone and a tripod. I also meet another fan of the podcast at this trial.
I think gifts as a creator might be semi-normal, but I mean, I would question it. So I would, not in a bad sense, but I would be like, oh. But I think when you, like, she has a big channel. I know like Annie Elise gets gifts and stuff. So actually, I'm not surprised. Like if a creator wanted to make you something or buy you something, you know what I mean?
Lori, also attending as the public. So not to be confused with Lori Daybell or Lori Hellis. This is Lori, someone attending as public named Lori.
No, Jakey, you're stuck with us tonight. Going back and forth, just like Kenzie and Don, back and forth. Awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Jakey. Bring me a pen, a card, a dab. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my dabs up here right now. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm gonna bring them up here right now. Too bad I can share it to the screen. I don't think YouTube would like that very much. They're probably already watching me. They're like, oh, she said she's gonna smoke weed up there. You have to sit Amy to get through this one. Grab a drink.
Then there's Lindsay. Lindsay is a podcast producer, and Lindsay starts doing
So there's Christina the stalker, Lori the friend, and Lindsay. I don't know who Lindsay is. She's gonna say, and Grayson's a producer. Are you keeping track?
part-time production work for me at this trial. She's quite good. She's very talented. And then there is my stalker. And my stalker also befriends Lindsay and Lori. And Lindsay, the producer that is there, starts doing part-time production work for me during this trial. And my stalker and Lori become friends with Lindsay, along with another woman named Janice. Now, a few things to know about Janice. Janice, I don't know her very well. This is our history, though. She was noticed by me in Daybell Facebook groups early on, years ago. I was in a lot of the Daybell Facebook groups. It's where a lot of information is, a lot of the insider scoops. And she was quite funny. Her posts were very funny and witty. And that I thought that at first. And then her posts turned into what I consider bullying. I know everyone has a different definition of that. It's what I consider bullying. Here are a couple of them posted in groups just to kind of let you know what I saw. Here's something making fun of Colby. And here is one where she's sharing a video titled, "Let's Talk About 𝐤𝐥𝐥𝐲-𝐕𝐞𝐫." And Kay, this video, luckily it is no longer on the web, but it defamed 𝐤𝐤𝐥𝐿 and lied about her and essentially implied that she was complicit in her grandson's murder and that she didn't do enough. It was a very cruel video. Kay is a victim in this case. Her brother and 7-year-old boy were murdered. And people are doing videos about her. And Janice liked to advertise those videos, and she was a mod in those videos, a moderator. And then again, you saw the other one where she's making fun of a dear friend of mine and another victim who lost his entire family. Okay, so that's good. So those are just a couple examples of why I didn't care for her. Whatever, everyone has their own opinions. She might be a really wonderful person, and I believe that Janice is a complex person, and that she's very. I don't want anyone to go and bully her if you know who she is. She's probably a very wonderful, wonderful person. but she wasn't
Yeah, people are gonna talk shit and hate on you, dude. I have haters all across the board. Like, it does suck though. I have been through a city situation before
my cup of tea. Okay.
with like a predator, an undercover predator on YouTube before.
Let's leave her alone. But that's my history with her. So I continue to notice these types of posts and rhetoric that Janice would use that maybe people think are funny. Again, that's fine. It wasn't my cup of tea. I told my friends privately, in private, that I thought she was a bully and that she was insensitive to victims. This is my personal opinion that I'm allowed to have. And then Janice and I officially met in person at the Lori Daybell trial in Boise, Idaho in 2023. Wow. And I attempted there to try to put our differences aside and focus on what matters, justice. And I let her know that, we might be on the different political sides of the aisle, Janice, but what we both care about is justice. And so we were friendly at the trial. Although I did notice while at that trial that she continued filming Larry and Kay Woodcock during vulnerable moments, making shorts about them that were unkind in nature and that would make most people uncomfortable. Additionally, that person you heard says that I randomly lived with her brother. That's Janice. Now, a big rumor out there is that I lived with Janice's brother, who was my doctor when I was like 29 or 30. I never have. I've never even kissed the guy.
What?
I don't know where that rumor started, but just, it's going around to several people. Lori is from California, and Lori was attending the trial because of her interest in the case. I love it when people interested in a case attend the trial. And then in a strange turn of events, my producer Grayson, this is strange, but my producer Grayson, Lori is the wife of my producer Grayson's California dentist and is someone who works in the dental office in California. But to clarify, when I met Lori, I didn't even know Grayson. This wasn't even a thing then, but wild, right?
Yeah.
Just let's continue. So
it does sound like a bunch of chick drama though, right off the bat. It is.
2024. I am asked by a well-known public figure that I really respect if I know a good podcast producer. And I tell them, yes, I do. And I introduce this person to Lindsay. And I encourage Lindsay to connect with this person. And she seems super happy, and the two connect. And I am super happy for them. And then on June 8th, so June 8th, 2024, my stalker puts me in a group chat, which includes my stalker, Lindsay and Lori. June 18th, 2024, my stalker is driving through my hometown, and she is asking to come visit. And so I take her kids to the neighborhood pool. July of 2024, I have now officially hired Lindsay as a producer, as an independent contractor. It's more full-time. And we have daily production meetings in the morning, along with John. And she is helping to produce my podcast episodes. She explains she is going to also work for this said public figure that I connected her to, and that she thinks we can pull off working for both. I tell her, okay, I am super happy that she has this upcoming gig with this public figure that is a wonderful person. And I tell her so. Lindsay and I decide to cover the Alec Baldwin trial in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And due to concerns of cost, Santa Fe ain't cheap. It's expensive. Lindsay recruits my stalker and Lori.
So don't be confused. She's going through how she met them. So allegedly this stalker person was like a public trial goer. And that's how she made her, and they were all friends. They all became friends. The stalker, the producer, they were all a group of friends.
To share an Airbnb with us to help keep down the costs. And then I tell John this, and he's reassured. I say, look, we've got a couple of trial people I met at a trial, these trial goers that are going to come with us and help keep down the cost of this larger Airbnb in Santa Fe. July 10th, 2024, in the morning of July 10th, 2024. July 10th was a big day. I'm outside of the courthouse of the Alec Baldwin trial, and I interview I interview several people that day, so I don't want anyone confused. There are 3 lives that day. I don't want anyone, but one of the many people I interview live on camera that day is my stalker, and I introduce her as a fan of my podcast, A Hidden Gem. I personally did not think it went great for content. No harm, no foul. It happens. And then that day continues of July 10th, 2024. And at this time, my ex-contractor, who was my then contractor and friend, so my contractor at the time of July 10th, 2024, she is streaming the Alec Baldwin trial live on our YouTube channel for us, while I am in the media room at the courthouse covering it, and she's there. And I reach out to this ex-contractor, again, my contractor at the time, let's clarify that. I reach out to my contractor who's live streaming the Alec Baldwin trial, and I ask how things are going with the streaming. I discuss work in a text with this ex-contractor, then contractor. And I explained that I like this press room for the moment before heading to the courtroom because, and I'm going to say this verbatim, this is what my text says to her, quote, "It's space from roommates. One of them is kind of annoying." This contract worker then asks if it was the one I had had on a live that morning in front of the courthouse. And I explain that it was. The contract worker states back to me in a text message, "Not going to lie, that person is obnoxious. Don't put her on camera again, laughing face emoji." I agree. And I say she is constantly anxious, loud, and worried. End quote. A very private work conversation in a text message. July 10th, 2025, that evening, the contract worker calls me and unexpectedly and angrily quits on me, and also ends our relationship for good, as in is never going to talk to me again and is going to block me. She accuses me of several things. She worked for me, but we were also very close friends. And after this phone call, I try not to, but I start crying hard. And Lori, Lindsay, and my stalker, who are my roommates in this Airbnb, they comfort me. And I am embarrassed and I keep apologizing for crying. And I am grateful for their kindness. In fact, it was a very traumatic moment for me. And I guess I can say I'm still grateful for their kindness in that moment. And that kindness that they showed me made me open up even more to them in the coming months, because they were there for me during a very traumatic moment. The end of July 2025, I hire my stalker. It was Lindsay's suggestion to do podcast episode artwork for me. She's a very talented artist, my stalker. And this continues for months. In October of 2024, I cover a trial, as many of you know, in Delphi, Indiana, with Lindsay. And I am paying Lindsay daily to be there for me. In my opinion, I was paying her well to be there for me daily. And I'm also paying, it's an all expense paid work trip. I am paying for all of her lodging,
Wow.
and all of her food, and everything she needs to work for me.
This is why it's important you guys support good people on YouTube like myself. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but for reals.
My stalker flies out to attend as public for a couple of days and pays me to stay in my Airbnb that I had. And she takes photos of me outside of the courthouse in Delphi, Indiana for my podcast. I did not pay her for these photos. It's an additional free gift for me. I buy her dinner. I confide in Lindsay, admittedly, that it is harder to work when my stalker is around. She seems kind and is very generous, but it's just a lot. And after my stalker flies home, I temporarily go home as well for Halloween because I need to trick or treat with my little boy. But I do decide that I need to go back to Delphi, Indiana. While I am gone, Grayson, who you guys now know as my producer, Grayson, takes notes for me in the courthouse while I'm gone. She does an incredible job, a hell of a job. Couldn't have done them better myself. I didn't do them as good.
Must be nice to have people doing like notes and research and stuff. Like, must be nice.
As she did them those 2 days that I was gone. And I begin paying Grayson for freelance work, including those notes. I then, back in Delphi, I start noticing a lot of red flags. And these are red flags for me. They might not affect everyone. Some people might not think they're red flags. Other people think maybe I misinterpreted them. It doesn't matter. These are red flags that affected me and concerned me and the way that I work and the way I function. One of them was that Lindsay wanted Grayson to stay in a separate Airbnb than the one I had with plenty of room. And Grayson was working for me. She was young. She was alone. And I was paying for the lodging. And that was a concern to me. I suggested maybe the Lindsay get her own hotel if she needed space, and that upset her too. I just couldn't figure this out. It was a dynamic that was hard for everyone. It's just what, and like I said, she likely had her reasons too. It's fair. But I had my reasons, and this was becoming uncomfortable for me. Another thing I learned that Lindsay did was take my phone, and without my permission, she logs into YouTube Studio and learns how much I am making that month. And she shares this with Grayson. Something that's made me uncomfortable. And there were a few other things. Lindsay is also working for another creator while I am paying for her to be there working for me full time, and I'm paying all of her expenses, and she is passed.
She should be paying all the expenses and everything. Like that is something that bothers me. She can cry on demand. It's already creepy. I know, Cree. That's why I love you. Thank you, Laura. You're the best. I try. Yeah, charging family and friends with money is a no-no.
Off material that I had requested her to collect to other creators to be used for other shows. These were things that made me uncomfortable. I'm not even to each their own. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. Doesn't matter. They were things that made me uncomfortable. There were other red flags for me, personal red flags. Once we were back from Delphi, I decided to terminate things with Lindsay after the Delphi trial ended. I ended things very nicely and respectfully. She's very talented. And I realized that I needed someone exclusive. Someone after experiencing what I did in Delphi with, realizing that she was a contract worker and that she was sharing and helping other creators, that, I realized that hidden true crime needed someone exclusive, like an exclusive producer that didn't want to work for multiple people. And so I told her that I was excited for her to work with this other larger podcast and this public figure. And here's the termination letter. I want you guys to see it. I want to show it so that I need people to know. And it's very small. So let me see if I can get it and read it. Okay, I can read it. I made it larger. I say, after an update on our working relationship. December 2nd, 2024. After careful and deliberate consideration and after reflecting upon the changing dynamics as you work for other true crime podcasts, John and I realized that it will be too difficult to navigate conflicts of interest and that we need any current or future employees we hire to work exclusively for hidden true crime. We had high hopes that this could work, and we love having you on board, and you have had such a positive impact upon our channel. We feel incredibly lucky that we are recipients of your work during a transitional period of career where you have had so many options in the true crime arena. We are particularly impressed with your move into such an important role working for Redacted. Yet, as we have been reflecting upon the complexities of sharing a producer, we have come to a difficult but clear realization that that in this true crime space, any producers HTC hires will need to work exclusively for hidden true crime to avoid issues around privacy, sharing content, and information across channels or podcasts, which greatly concerns us. As I have always stated, your desire to work with Redacted is an incredible opportunity that you should take advantage of. And we are thrilled for your exceptional talents being recognized with such a major talent.
So she had to basically fire her friend, which I don't mix friends with business. At least I try not to a lot of the time, because these things do happen. You do have falling outs and stuff. So was this just like a mean girl thing? But I mean, a restraining order, getting the courts involved, that's a lot too.
Your absence undoubtedly will create a much bigger workload for us once again, which we do not look forward to. So we know that your efforts will be sorely missed. And we know, however, that the growth and experience you'll receive will be unique and provide a rare opportunity for you. I'm proud of you for this opportunity. Go show them how amazing you are. I'm sure we will see you on the Apple podcast charts very soon, and that we hope our friendship and true crime combos can continue. And who knows, if we're lucky, maybe we'll be collaborating later together in the future once the opportunity presents itself. Always my best, Lauren. And so I later, just so you know, one other aspect of this, months and months later, I did send Lindsay a cease and desist. I had heard that she had been saying some things that I consider defamation to several of my professional contacts. One text that was sent to me stated that I went psycho on her and that I am manic, and other things from
that she is psycho and manic. That is what was said about her, and she sent a cease and desist to the creators. Contacting people's work is evil. I will say that much.
Another creator that Lindsay was saying about me, things that were not true. I sent her that cease and desist and requested that simply she cease and desist about speaking about her time as my producer. I feel like this sets the stage for everything else to come. When my life then becomes a living hell for my entire family. So let's fast forward to April 9th, 2025, when my stalker confronts me in the Maricopa County Courthouse while I was reporting on the Lori Daybell trial. Oh. From there, I'm going to start reading my declarations. I'll add comments where needed. Here we go. So this is the first declaration I sent out to receive my temporary stalking injunction. The reason why I'm just going to get into the declarations, I'm going to stick to legal documents. I'll add anything extra. I think they tell the full story. There will be a few things I need to add. I hereby declare, under penalty of perjury, that the facts stated in this declaration are personally known to me and that they are accurate to the best of my knowledge. My name is Lauren Matthias. I am over the age of 18 years old and I am competent to testify. I am knowledgeable personally about the matters I am testifying about. I am the petitioner. I met my stalker in April of 2024. During the summer of 2024, she began doing contract graphic design work for my business. Do we have those invoices? Let's pull them up. They may not matter, but I would like to show them. There's one. Okay, I'm paying her. That's all you need to know. However, for the past few months, my stalker has been intentionally targeting me and stalking me, making me fearful for my safety and well-being, as well as the safety of my family and my producer Grayson's safety. My stalker has also been using a group of people to help her achieve her goal. This started on April 9th, 2025, when my stalker confronted me in the courthouse in Maricopa County, Arizona, while I was reporting on the Lori Daybell trial. The stalker came up to me, cried, and let me know that she had heard what I had said about her, and that two former contract workers were releasing my text messages that I had with them during their time working with me. Now I'm going to ad lib, a little bit more here. I actually wrote that ad lib, a little bit more about what the stalker said. I'm so nervous. I'm like reading ad lib. So let me tell you a little bit more what she said. She came up to me and said, "I know what you said about me." She's crying. Give her a hug. A few of the things she stated were, well, first off, I want to point out that there was a no recording order in the courthouse, a severe no recording order in the courthouse. Why? Because there's a high profile, internationally well-known trial going on. And every day we are reminded that there's to be no recording in all of the courthouse, not just the courtroom, but the courthouse. And that if you are to record in the courthouse, you will be held in contempt of court. And that there are signs everywhere saying, do not record in the courthouse. I would have never thought she was recording. So the stalker says, "I know your ex-friends are releasing everything. And it is horrible what they are sharing. And I cannot believe what you said about me."
Ooh, Laura. Wait, Lauren, if there's not me getting them mixed up. If there's texts that are that mean, why are you being a mean girl?
Knew what I had said about her. I told all of you at the beginning of this, I called her annoying. And I knew exactly what it was and what she was saying.
Does someone get that mad when you call them annoying? I mean, yeah, I believe it. People are evil. And people get jealous. And people are petty. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna watch as much as we watch. I don't know. I have to decide if I still want to continue to cover this.
And I wanted to face it head on and own it and apologize. I don't like hurting people. And I want to be honest with things. That's who I am. And so I said, let's talk. Let's talk. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. And I said, you know what? Please allow me to talk.
I agree with Evie. All these people are crossing the line. Like y'all are older, like grow the fuck up. Like really. Like, you know what I mean? Like my mom would never be caught doing any of this bullshit. Like she would be like, what? She looks at me like I'm crazy half the time. Most of the time, actually all the time. She probably thinks I'm petty as fuck. But like that's what I'm saying. Like a grown woman does not act like this. Also, if it is true though, allegedly, it is a lot to deal with a stalker. I do have friends. I have been through situations. So I really can empathize with her as well. So
with you right here about it. I called you annoying and I'm sorry. I didn't know you well then. And I told her essentially that I felt like perhaps at that time that she was further along in the friendship than I was. Maybe she thought we were closer than I felt at that time, that I was still getting to know her, and that it was difficult sometimes to work around her. And because I felt like she was annoying sometimes while I tried to work. And I didn't record it, she did, but this is what I recall. And that I was sorry. And I felt really bad, and I knew her better. And I felt terrible that I had hurt her that way. I was also completely taken back by the fact that a bunch of my private text messages were being released. Scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what that meant. 6 years of messages. And this woman saying to me, they're horrible. They're terrible. Your friends are horrible. They're cruel. I can't believe what they said. I can't believe what you said. She brought up poisonous donuts, Lauren, poisonous donuts in Delphi. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, you don't know what I'm talking about? Something about poisonous donuts? This is what I recall again. She's the one that recorded, not me. So, you know what I'm talking about? Liz sent it to you. You sent it to Liz. I'm like, who's Liz? Who's Liz? What are these poisonous donuts? Liz.
She goes from like crying and really like sad, and then I feel like she gets really defensive, and I probably just the motions of the motion, but like, is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know though. Girls can be really mean. Let's not lie.
You don't know who Liz is? No, I don't know who Liz is. Who's Liz? You said, Lauren, that somebody sent you, that somebody in Delphi tried to bring you poisonous donuts, and people were there and they were trying to be kind to you. And I'm still like, I don't get what she's talking about. By the way, I learned later, and both those stories are true. People in the Delphi trial brought me donuts and it was kind. And then there was another time when there were a couple of YouTubers, Susan Hendricks was there, we talked about it actually in a live, where they brought, they were banned from the courtroom and they brought donuts, and everyone screamed, said, don't take them, they're poisonous. And that was the story I'd allegedly shared with Liz. I didn't know who Liz was. She kept trying to press me, who's Liz? Who's Liz? And I said, oh, Liz. Remembered who Liz was. We concluded the conversation. I felt on a good note. I profusely apologized. I told her I was sorry for what I had said, and for what many of the things perhaps that I had said to those ex-friends of mine. And then
not the ex-friends. Oh.
So let me continue. Let me continue. So the text about the stalker stated that she was annoying. I apologized for hurting her feelings. So I'm going back to the declaration now. And I even followed up with text messages taking accountability. Exhibit the apology. Let's show that. Do you have that apology? Okay. We'll wait for this. I said,
so let me see. They decided, her and her producer, to start just like putting this live together. I don't know. Something feels really weird.
I love you and I'm sorry. Thank you for talking to me. I have a lot to process about myself and my actions. She thanked me for being vulnerable about myself. I said, everything I love about you is real and sincere. Everything I judged you for Before I gave you a chance, I was wrong. Unfortunately, you can't erase words and they hurt. I'll forever regret the things I said and thought. But the truth is, I'd defend you to the moon and back forever, and I do. But I realize it will take a long time to earn your trust if I ever earn it again. And if I don't, I understand. I was so wrong. But I know that no matter where our paths lead in life, I know I'll forever defend you and call you a dear friend with the biggest heart I know. I'd do anything for you if you ever need me. And then, oddly, and then...
No. I want to see all of the text message. Show us all. The nudes. Show us the nudes too. Just kidding. Just keeping you guys awake. No, we want to see all the text messages though.
We'll talk about some other stuff after that. We'll talk about this in Grayson's declaration. But I also did leave court early that day because I had a panic attack about private texts of mine perhaps being released because people were angry at me. It was a very frightening thought. But we'll get into that later. We'll continue with my declaration. The first one. Later that night, I received a threatening voicemail from someone named Liz. She brought up the fact that I had said that I didn't know who she was, which was something that I told my stalker during our conversation. And so now I'm realizing, oh my gosh, she recorded me. Take a listen to the voice.
It's Liz. Let me remind you, Liz, I know you don't recall my name, but I actually think you do recall my name. But I'd like to talk to you for a second. I'd like to talk to you about, number one, I guess, why you don't remember my name. But number two, I'd like to talk to you about why you are so upset about texts that you have sent to me in group chats about other people who I'm sure you don't, I'm sure it's hard to admit that you have said those things about those people, but I want to clear it up with you. So
I will admit I have talked some shit in text messages before, probably about some channels. Would I say it to their face? Probably. Do I have text messages that people probably don't want me to reveal? Yeah, probably. All right. Well,
I would appreciate if you would call me back. No, not trying to be threatening or anything. I would truly like to clarify maybe where I'm missing something. So if you would please give me a call back, I would appreciate it. My name is Liz, L-I-Z. In case you don't remember, Liz, L-I-Z. Don't want to.
We got it. Liz, L-I-Z.
So at this moment, I'm having a panic attack about text messages being released. I'm worried about a friend whose feelings I've hurt. I'm worried about the potential of what this means. Thank you. I'm not trying to be threatening, is exactly that. It's threatening. And I am worried that a vulnerable conversation that I just had with somebody in a courthouse now was recorded and being shared to people who might be calling me and threatening me. This was a very overwhelming moment for me. Very. I can't even explain what I felt in that moment. Thank you to the people who were there for me.
I don't know. I would have just maybe made a live and been like, hey, et cetera, et cetera. I was talking about shit about you. Your channel sucks. Okay, moving on. Hey, Liz, you suck too. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Liz, be honest. Okay, we all talk. I was harassed in high school harder than this. No, I do. All things put aside, I did get bullied last year and harassed too. Was it this bad? Allegedly, no. But I was preyed upon by a predator, like someone who was convicted of grooming a female child, and he came onto online pretending to be my friend. It's a long story, but I can't empathize. So I don't want to seem like I'm heartless. I just feel like we might need the other side of this as well. You know, to make like a full 360 ethical opinion. Okay.
And so after I received that text message, I sent the stalker a text message stating to please not share our conversations, that it was private and that I was feeling threatened. And if we can pull that up, there are so many exhibits here. Hey, I would appreciate, this is what I wrote on April 9th. I would appreciate you not talk about our private conversation, which you described as vulnerable with other people. I have done this for you. Yet I am already getting calls about things I said to you in confidence, and I feel threatened. Do not screenshot or share private conversations that are meant to be private. Do not share things that I've said to you in private, because they are considered private. And I reiterate, this is becoming a threatening matter, and I will have to take legal action if it continues. Stalker responds, Lauren, I can confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. By the way, that's not true. I later learned that she did indeed record it, by the way. And then she put
the psychology person of me. I do have a minor in psychology, but don't hire me to be your therapist quite just yet. Because I might just tell you, shake your ass and get over it. No, but really though. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I totally just brain farted what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, wait, is this threatening? This feels like a Lifetime movie. Stop. We can all be therapists to each other here right now. Long time wanted to record this because it was a joke and it would get a ton of views
on TikTok. So we'll get to that. But Lauren, I can
Wait, okay, that's where I was going with this. Sorry, I got distracted. Show all the text, dude. We're reading 30,000 pages of Mackenzie text. Where is all the text? Dame. Dámelos. That means give it to me, baby. Right now. Pronto. I want to see them all. The whole text message thread.
Confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. As for your other request, I think you already know that I'm not the one you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. In other words, shaming my ex-friends. I'll be honest, receiving a message like this, especially with accusations and threats, really puts salt in the wounds. I didn't expect that from you. Okay. A couple of days later, I was sent a Reddit comment by somebody, and we learned that it was made by my stalker. Just a couple days later, alleging that I was...
Also, where I was going with the psychology thing is like, don't call the stalker my stalker. It's the stalker, I think. I just think my stalker very much personalizes it, you know? Like, I don't know. It's giving weird.
Plagiarizing, and that I had poached an employee from another person in my industry. Oh, we have it. Here it is. Supposedly, Lauren poached an employee, and the employee is recycling scripts that she did for Lauren. Not sure if this is one of those cases, but a friend of mine overheard the girl she poached from talk all about it at one of the trials. This isn't true. It was put on Reddit. And so I thought, who did this?
This just like, okay, and if it's true, like I send all my love and my heart to Lauren. But like I have a friend who actually used to be one of my mods. And she was like really stalked. Like her stalker, she came out of her shower and the stalker was like in the house. Like she was terrified. And it's been a while, and like she would always like tell me on the phone, like, Melly, like for a while she didn't want to give me her address. Like it was just kind of one of those things. And that, well, because she didn't want to give it to anyone. You know what I mean? And then she ended up having to move. So like, it does happen. I'm not saying that Lauren's a complete liar, but like, cause I don't really know, right? Like, I don't know. But so that is a very serious situation is what I'm trying to get at.
Well, luckily she left a lot of trails to confirm without doubt that it is my stalker. And we have that evidence. I'm not going to show it now, but we have the evidence because she has since deleted that and much of her public post. But we have all of the evidence. It's her. And it was shocking to me. Again, I thought this was...
Twisted Stitches says, but if this was you, Melly, you had a video like this, I would believe you. I wouldn't need to hear the other side. I would back you, just like I back Lauren. I do kind of back her. Yeah. I think I'm 50-50 right now. Like, I think I believe her. I don't think she's a complete liar. I want to hear all of it. I guess that's kind of where I'm at this point. I'm like, I've heard things. So I just want to like, I guess, get through the whole life. which I don't know that we'll do tonight because it's literally 9 hours.
My friend and someone that was working for me. And now someone that's possibly sharing my conversations. What's going on? That was made by my stalker alleging that I was plagiarizing and that I had poached an employee from another person in my industry. I texted my stalker requesting that she does not defame my business online, and that if she believes I am plagiarizing, to report me. In other words, if you believe I am plagiarizing, report me. I didn't tell her to stop talking. I actually said to her, if you think that I am plagiarizing, that's serious, and she should report me. She denied they were her posts, despite evidence from her account, which I have again saved, showing it was her account. And after some back and forth, I blocked her as I began to feel unsafe. She then sent me, after I blocked her and after we both agreed, she said, I'm not going to continue this conversation with someone. And I said, you know what, you're right. At this moment, I don't know who she is. I don't know her intentions. I am feeling very threatened. I block her. This relationship, unfortunately, sadly, is going to have to end. She then sends me an aggressive email. And in it, she states, Lauren, this is April 21st, Lauren, I was going to text you this directly, but it looks like it didn't go through. So I'm guessing that you blocked me. Yes, I did. If that's the case, that's totally fine. Just be real about it. Hitting block after starting a fire doesn't make you a victim. It makes you a coward. On top of that, you're really out here playing the victim while casually coaching someone on how to trash a redacted creator on Reddit. Bold move, especially for someone who loves to preach about integrity every 5 minutes. But hey, maybe encouraging anonymous hit pieces is just part of your brand. I wouldn't know. I've been too busy minding my own business and not anonymously running smear campaigns in the comment section. She meant on Reddit. Also, a fun twist. I now know that Reddit comment actually came from one of your own mods, and yet you still claimed it as your own when bragging to your old friends. So either you're lying to them or you're lying now. Take your pick. Do you prefer hypocrite or liar? Sincerely, stalker.
I've actually received a lot worse emails like this last year when I was being harassed. And that's not to put her stuff aside, but yeah, the whole putting the response behind a paywall, I do have a problem with that. I think I even told Cree, I was like, yeah, I'm not cool with that.
No idea what the hell she's talking about, but she has added some screenshots to this email. Can we look at those screenshots? Do we have the screenshots? We're trying to pull them. We'll see if we can pull them. In it are alleged screenshots. I'll just explain it while Grayson's looking. In them are...
But chill out, you guys. There's creators who you are watching right now that do put things behind a paywall when they shouldn't. Whether it's their illnesses, something. And I'm not cool with that. Because if you wanted to be out there genuinely and appropriately, why put it anything behind a paywall, let alone a response to what you just made public to the entire platform on YouTube, which is like everybody in the world.
Screenshots from a message the stalker has added. Happens. We'll edit later. The stalker has added the reminder where we left off. And in the reminder where we left off, I don't know, she is stating, I've never rewritten history. I've acknowledged what I've done. I've apologized, acknowledged your hurt. I'm not afraid to own my mistakes. And then we agree. Look at that. She agrees to be done engaging. We agreed. Or is that my text? Is that my text? This is my text that I'm like, this sounds more like me. Okay. This is me. So she says, reminder of where we left off. This is my text. I state that I've never rewritten history. I've acknowledged what I've done. I've apologized and acknowledged your hurt. I have never taken that back or pretended otherwise. Even my initial text today. I am not afraid to own my mistakes, as I am an honest and imperfect person who works to be self-aware and honest with my actions. Pointing out words written on your public account with a request you don't publicly defame me, and sharing that it hurts me in no way rewrites history or disregards what I have apologized for and owned. And I have owned it here today, tonight too. I want to point out, I called her annoying. I hope one day that you'll be able to also do the same when you hurt people and make mistakes. We agree to be done engaging. I think that last paragraph was a mistake from me. That was a typo. Okay. But I was clearly trying to apologize then. So she puts this in an email after she calls me a hypocrite or liar, that. And then she shares other photos. And these other photos, do we have those? We're trying to find them. We might. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. So as we look for those, this is about the Ross Live. I said at the beginning of this month, PS, that I'm going to work to connect to all of you again. It's been a while since I've done a live. Here I am, real life. So as we try to look for those, what she sends me is an obscure, very obscure message. It's kind of blurry. It looks like it's been passed around from a group chat I'm in. And I'm responding to someone who made a comment in Reddit, and I say, how's it doing? And the reason, I'm just going to tell you guys now. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here it is. I say, how's it doing? And then the person replies, my comment, I'm pretty sure it's the top one with a nervous emoji. So let me tell you what this is. This has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with the trial I've covered. Someone in this group text was following a creator, a podcaster, on a trial that I did not cover and knew nothing about. And they were disappointed that this podcaster got facts wrong because they were attending the trial. And I wasn't actually a part, those group texts where you really don't go in a lot. This was one of those happening. I wasn't even in the majority of this conversation. I didn't know what was going on. When I popped in, I saw all these things, and I saw that this person had actually fact checked that person, that creator, and posted about it under her actual real name, not even anonymously, some things that this creator got wrong in a podcast. And this person quite liked the podcaster. So they were actually stressed about putting this up there and seemed worried about it. They said, the comment is there. I don't know how it's going to do. They was kind of looking for feedback in like a group message. Wasn't a part of this conversation at all. And I pop in, I see that she is nervous, and I wrote, how's it doing? And if you note, her response ends with a worried face emoji when she says, it's the top one. She doesn't know if that's good. That comment is still there, by the way, on Reddit. And it's absolutely harmless. It is somebody correcting facts about a trial they were following. I know none of the facts of this case, nor did I follow this podcaster on this case. I don't even know. I have known nothing about it. But I want you to know that this text has gone around for months with people telling me that I am doing smear campaigns on this podcaster. Top media people believe that I have smeared this creator on Reddit, that I tried to hurt her business. This has gone far and wide because of that. I have no idea what that is about. And I
are you guys still seeing me okay, or am I lagging? Because like on my end, things are kind of lagging with StreamYard.
Several people that it's not true. And there is no evidence that I have ever tried to hurt this person's business. In fact, I have actually promoted this person's business repeatedly, sourced them, encouraged followers, collabed with them, and tried to help their business. But there is, and if anybody has heard this, a rumor that I have created fake accounts and tried to hurt my fellow creator or any creator. I will tell you right now, that is false, completely false. Because even in my stalker's response to me, when I filed a civil stalking injunction, she claims that she has seen evidence of me hurting other people's businesses, yet cannot show a single moment where I actually have. Because I don't. Really quickly, do we have my response to her? I never read my response. Oh. So oh, okay, this is my response on the screen. Got it. So I wrote, are we good? Are we safe? Okay. I wrote this person back, the stopper back. And I say, I blocked you because I'm tired of being harassed and threatened by others who are misinformed and illegally sharing and taking private chats out of context. The only coward in this conversation is the one who is unable to acknowledge any wrongdoing whatsoever. So who is starting fires? And then I share, again, who is starting fires? Her Reddit comment. That's now been deleted from Reddit, by the way. When someone tells me to stop engaging, my response is to stop. But here you continue harassing me in emails, even though I've blocked you. You've obviously are misinformed about this podcaster. I never wrote an anonymous hit piece about this podcaster. That was written quite openly by the person who wrote it. Yes, a moderator and someone who attended that trial of this case daily. She was correcting some factual errors that this podcaster had made regarding a case that I never covered. It was never a hit piece, and it doesn't hide her identity, nor did I ever anonymously write the factual correction from court. That was somebody else. I asked how the comment was doing, which was supporting my friend, nothing more or less. I'm not sure how that has anything to do with smearing someone. Journalists typically adhere to factual analysis, unlike your correspondents, which is creating a false and defamatory narrative about me based upon your distortion of the facts and the misattribution of a post that I never wrote. But why let facts get in the way of your far-fetched and false narratives about me? I blocked you and agreed to stop engaging, but I guess you had to have the last 2 words because apparently you have no flaws and have never made a mistake. So I will ask, please do not contact me. The fact that you continue to contact me after I blocked you leads me to question my safety. Are you going to show up my home next since you know where I live and berate me until you believe your false narratives about me are proven to your confused satisfaction? I'm also asking you to stop posting lies and false information about me publicly, which negatively impacts my business. If you continue to harass me, I will be forced to take legal action. Okay. And I know that that was strong. I know it was. But at this point, I am shocked. I realize that she has recorded me in a courthouse. I realize that she is defaming me online. She has just called me a hypocrite and a liar. And she is taking a text with me asking, how's it doing? Completely out of context. And now is stating that I am hurting other people's businesses. So now I'm plagiarizing people and I am hurting other people's businesses, 2 things of which I have never done. So I'm very concerned. And she has reached out via email. I don't know what's going on at this moment.
I wanted to like watch this all because I needed to make my own opinion. I don't know. I just feel like, was this necessary?
So, all right. Where was I? Thank you. Thank you. So on April 15th, I was confronted by a friend. And by the way, at this point, these women that I mentioned at the beginning, they've all become very close. They actually have a text thread together called the 7 Gatherers. It's named after, Melanie and Zulema and Lori Vallow, who had the same text thread. They call themselves the 7 Gatherers. Very happy for their friendship. They're posting pictures of each other at the courthouse. I'm happy that they all get along. But as you know, I think one of them is a bit of a bully. And I had shared this with my stalker as well. So on April 15th, 2025, I was confronted by a friend of the stalker named Janice at the same courthouse. This incident is on film. And before we play it, I want to share a little bit more.
Did she show up to her home like with the pew pew or something like that? I would have a problem with that. Reaching out to people I work with, yeah, I probably would have a problem with that as well. Well, a judge thought Hidden True Crime had enough documentation to give her a protection order. I know, that's kind of why I'm like stuck.
She had, I had mentioned that she had often filmed Kay and Larry and others outside the courthouse, and it's fair. You can record people in public. It's fair game. It's uncomfortable, and I think there comes a point where it can be considered harassment. When someone is filming you all the time. And what I had been noticing is that, and Grayson had been noticing, because Grayson was with me at this trial and she was my producer at this time, that she filmed me and Grayson everywhere we went. And it was uncomfortable. So thank you, Kelsey Benson Rising, she filmed Colby too. She filmed people all the time, and Kay and Larry.
Wait, ATS says no judge gave a temp protection order and another judge wasn't on board. Oh, okay. So see, okay. This is why I said at the beginning, there's 2 sides. Interesting. A judge wasn't on board with permanent. Somebody said, John, come get your girl. I'm dead. That not funny. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, imagine all the hours we put into McCrazy. No, Lauren went looking for Christina, got events. Anyone can get an ex parte tempo. It's making it permanent where the accused can defend themselves. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's basically what ATS just said. She said she withdrew the temporary because she didn't want her son's mental health to be in the public eye. Because I guess it would come out at the hearing.
So I was walking into court late, and I was on the phone with my husband, John, the only time I can catch up with him. And as I walked up to the courthouse, I noticed that Janice was out there, standing there with no apparent reason to be standing there. And I thought, oh no, my heart sunk. What if she's waiting for me? And so for safety, which I had started to do because she's good friends with my stalker. In fact, when I saw my stalker and she had confronted me in the courthouse, she'd actually been with Janice. They had been together. And it made me nervous. So I said, John, I've got to go. Someone's here outside the courthouse and I'm scared and getting worried about everything. And he knew everything going on.
Wait, ATS
I'm going to just put my phone camera on just in case because I'm just worried. And that is why.
Okay, so shout out to ATS. She just said, if you guys remember ATS, we did a live about David just recently. So definitely go sub up. She sent me an audio. There's a hidden true crime. Judge told you a stalking injunction isn't a remedy for shutting down speech. A person, it seems like this is what they're trying to do. Shamefully, you cry to duty on anyone else that would listen. Oh, okay. Let me pull this up. I have to share this screen. And this is from X. So we're going to pause this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to get through it. I want to get through it all. I want to hear about it all. I do, but let's listen to this audio that ATS just sent me. Let me see if I can share it because I don't think I have X. Or maybe I do. I have many X's, but I'm talking about Twitter, okay? Let's see if I can play it. Can you let me know if you guys can hear it?
Again, if she's just saying negative stuff, you don't. This is not, again, a stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case.
Well, again, Your Honor, I would argue that,
again, if she's just saying negative stuff, you don't. This is not, again, a stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case.
well, again, Your Honor, I would argue that,
again.
Wow. That's actually crazy. Thank you, ATS, for sending me that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm shooketh. What the helly is going on here? Not ATS. We're all like, we're like, actually, we just heard the judge in the middle of this live. Oh, I see it. You did. You sent me the whole thing. I hadn't seen the 2 links. Oh, she did send me. Let me pull it up. You can't just go crying about somebody saying bad things about you. Let's see. Let me pull it up.
𝐵4055. Can I get counsel to state their appearance?
Oh shit, ATS, this is an hour long? You just sent me the whole thing? Shout out to you. Oh my god, I want to watch it now. Wait, should we finish watching the other one or this one now? Oh my god.
𝐵4055. Can I get counsel to state?
That's crazy. Okay, let's watch a little bit of that and then we'll watch the one ATS sent me. That's wild. ATS, how did you get that? That's crazy. Shit, I feel like we should listen to it. Court, you guys want to listen to? What? Okay, fine. Laura said, please, please, please. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Let's hear the new one now. Everyone can hear she's lying. Oh my. Wait, Rebecca, are you saying that about me or you mean about Lauren? About being the nice person. Okay, let's play it. Let me pull it up and I'm going to grab my other drink and then we'll listen to this. Let me change the title while I'm at it too. I guess I'll be a grifter. Shout out to ATS. Not me being such a pain in the ass. You know what? I've been feeling really petty lately. Really petty. I don't know if it's some Mackenzie text, but I'm about to just talk some shit. Just kidding. Not on here. Not on here. This is about everyone gets snacks. Yeah. Some will hear her lying and some support her. It's funny. They're parasocial relationships. Okay, let's play it. Dude. Me and ATS have a long conversation going about David. I think soon here, ATS and I will be arresting David. We're like, we're going to be the ones arresting him, not the police. Okay, fine. Let's listen to this. It's like an hour. So I guess we can continue the hidden true crime. Yeah, grab your gummies, everyone. Your little sour gummies. Do you see that? The awkward wink? Okay, good. Let's get started.
Their appearance for the record.
Dastan Dio for the petitioner.
And James Dunkelberger, the law firm of Bennett, Tueller, Johnson, and Deere for the respondent. And respondent is seated at the mid-council table, Your Honor.
Thank you. We stay.
Wait, before I even start this, we need to talk. Am I gonna get shit for this? Oh no. No, honey. This is public information, I think. So you sit your ass back down. Okay, that's all I had to say. Let's get started.
Your name again?
James Dunkelberger.
Dunkelberger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, counsel, before we get going, do you want to proceed by proffer, and I'll ask put your clients and witnesses under oath and see if they'll affirm it, or do you want to call up witnesses, cross-examine, direct examine?
I think witnesses, we would prefer calling witnesses, not proper.
Okay. We are set for an hour hearing, so use that as you see fit. I notice I did have a motion to allow some witnesses to appear remotely.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our motion.
Are they out of state?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Petitioner also.
I'm shook. Are we actually listening to this right now? I'm like, who has this? Oh yeah, Laura dropped ATS's link. Okay. I'm like, does my granny have this? I don't even know if she knows what true crime is, but
Had a motion to allow one of our disabled witnesses to appear remotely. The court granted that motion, I think, this morning, and provided the link. But we did have a request outstanding for other witnesses to appear if necessary.
So you guys would stipulate the witnesses appearing remotely?
I have no objection to that.
Me neither, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, if we could just revisit the schedule today, though. There are several declarations filed on each side. Several witnesses probably intend to appear today. 1 hour is an awful short amount of time to get this all done, and if we are going to try to do it in an hour with live testimony, could we have some sort of a guidance from the court on how we split that up, or, you know, how our time is to be spent today?
Yeah, you guys choose how. I mean, I'll make it even, that it's 50% to each of you as to how you want to go about it. I noticed that there was several declarations filed in regards to this. Have the parties had any communication?
No, Your Honor.
A little
The
bit of
parties
procedure,
themselves.
yeah.
Okay.
Since, forgive me, maybe I misunderstood. You mean counsel for party.
Yeah.
Minimal on procedural matters last week.
How come there's been no effort to resolve this? Is there a reason why?
Well, from my perspective, it's not that we're against that or opposed to that. It's just the timing of it has been so short between when the injunction was filed and when he appeared, and so there's been a lot of evidence and other briefings to submit and worry about. So we haven't. I would just say it's only because we haven't had a fair chance to do it.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started, unless you guys think that some discussion, I can give you a little bit of time if you want to go out and discuss, if you think that would be fruitful. Otherwise, we'll just get going.
I'm happy to go out with this and try to have a quick discussion.
Okay, why don't you guys do that, and then come back in and let me know.
Okay, thanks. 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, 5, I mean, you can tell if we're making progress. As soon as you can see that we're going one direction or the other, let me know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may have a seat. Okay, counsel, what were we able to work out?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, we're not going to be able to come to a stipulation today.
Okay. Let's go ahead and, are you ready to proceed then?
We had one matter of housekeeping, Your Honor, from the petitioner, if that's all right, if I may.
Go ahead.
So, given the nature of the claims and the emotional distress it's caused to my client, and considering the audience we have here, my client is requesting that only the necessary parties, those from the respondent's side who will be testifying, be allowed to be in the courtroom, to provide her some sort of safety and comfort during these proceedings, to the extent we can.
Okay. Mr. Dunkelberger?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd object to that. This is a petition that's been brought by petitioner. She's going to be here in the courtroom, and as respondent, Ms. is entitled to have people here with her. And
Yeah, it's an open courtroom. There's no motion filed to close it. So, and I expect the parties to be here in person when we have a case. So that motion is denied.
Okay.
Now, as to the reality of where we are, how much time does counsel think that realistically you're going to need in this case?
Well, we need at least 2 witnesses, 3 including...
Wait, did I miss something? Okay. Wait, I think I kind of need to go back. I don't want to miss anything. Don't hate me.
04055, can I get counsel to state their appearance for the record?
Dastan Dio for the petitioner.
And James Dunkelberger, the law firm of Bennett, Tueller, Johnson & Deere for the respondent. And respondent is seated with me at counsel table, Your Honor.
Thank you. Will you state your name again?
James Dunkelberger.
Dunkelberger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, counsel, before we get going, do you want to proceed by proffer, and I'll ask put your clients and witnesses under oath and see if they'll affirm it, or do you want to call up witnesses, cross-examine, direct examine?
I think witnesses, we would prefer calling witnesses, not probably.
Okay. We are set for an hour hearing, so use that as you see fit. I notice I did have a motion to allow some witnesses to appear remotely.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our motion.
Are they out of state?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Petitioner also had a motion to allow one of our disabled witnesses to appear remotely. The court granted that motion, I think, this morning, and provided the link. But we did have a request outstanding for other witnesses to appear if necessary.
So you guys would stipulate to the witnesses appearing remotely?
I have no objection to that.
Me neither, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, if we could just revisit the schedule today, though. There are several declarations filed on each side. Several witnesses probably intend to appear today. 1 hour is an awful short amount of time to get this all done, and if we are going to try to do it in an hour with live testimony, could we have some sort of a guidance from the court on how we split that up, or, how our time is to be spent today.
Yeah, you guys choose how, I'll make it even, that it's 50% to each of you as to how you want to go about it. I noticed that there was several declarations filed in regards to this. Have the parties had any communication?
No, Your Honor.
A little bit of
parties
procedure,
themselves,
yeah.
Okay. Forgive me, maybe I misunderstood. You mean counsels?
Yeah.
Counsel for party?
Yeah.
Minimal
On procedural matters last week.
How come there's been no effort to resolve this? Is there a reason why?
Well, from my perspective, it's not that we're against that or opposed to that. It's just the timing of it has been so short between when the injunction was filed and when he appeared, and so there's been a lot of evidence and other briefings to submit and worry about. So we haven't. I would just say it's only because we haven't had a fair chance to do it.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started, unless you guys think that some discussion, I can give you a little bit of time if you want to go out and discuss. If you think that would be fruitful, otherwise we'll just get going.
I can't believe we're listening to this right now.
I'm happy to go out with this then and try to have a quick discussion.
Okay, why don't you guys do that and then come back in and let me know.
I'm shook.
Thanks, sir. 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, 5, you can tell if we're making progress as soon as you can see that we're going one direction or the other, let me know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may have a seat. Okay, counsel, what were we able to work out?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, we're not going to be able to come to a stipulation today.
Okay. Let's go ahead and, are you ready to proceed then?
We had one matter of housekeeping, Your Honor, from the petitioner, if that's all right, if I may.
Go ahead.
So, given the nature of the claims and the emotional distress it's caused to my client, and considering the audience we have here, my client is requesting that only the necessary parties, those from the respondent's side who will be testifying, be allowed to be in the courtroom, to provide her some sort of safety and comfort during these proceedings, to the extent we can.
Okay. Mr. Dunkelberger?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd object to that. This is a petition that's been brought by petitioner. She's going to be here in the courtroom, and as respondent, Ms. is entitled to have people here with her. And
Yeah, it's an open courtroom. There's no motion filed to close it. So, and I expect the parties to be here in person when we have a case. So that motion is denied. Now, as to the reality of where we are, how much time does counsel think that realistically you're going to need in this case?
Well, we need at least 2 witnesses, 3 including the petitioner's husband. I'll try to get through them as quickly as I can, but there are
How
some
much time are you anticipating?
Well, Your Honor, I had anticipated having the whole day, honestly. Or at least half the day.
What did the notice go out?
That's correct, and then it was rescheduled to Monday from the 17th to the 22nd.
So I'm not sure why when we schedule it at 4, why you'd anticipate you would have a half day or a whole day.
You're right, that I might have misread that, or read too much into it, but it was rescheduled for 11 a.m., so.
So how much time are you anticipating? That's
Hours.
Oh, how many hours?
Hours?
At least 3.
On your case in chief?
Yeah.
Mr. Dunkelberger?
So we were prepared today because of the short time frame to proceed primarily by proffer. We understood that that's what was going to happen today, given the short amount of time. Brief opening statement, proffer the witnesses, some cross-examination in a hurry, and then be out. We are prepared to accordion to the court's convenience on this. Certainly, if the other side's entitled to 3 hours, we'd ask for parity, but we think that you could do it in substantially less time. It just depends on how they want to do it.
Okay.
I have a suggestion, Your Honor. Pending before the court is our ex parte motion to enforce the temporary civil stalking injunction. Perhaps if we proceeded to resolve that motion, that may resolve the entire matter. If, in other words, I guess what I'm saying is perhaps we can achieve what we need to by simply ruling on that motion, and then at that point, if it's granted, then that resolves the issue, and if it's not, then we can, I guess, readdress and plan at that point.
Mr. Dunkelberger?
That's the tail wagging the dog, Your Honor. I mean, we have 28 days, from the notice. As far as I'm aware, I don't think the court has issued a hearing. I know there was a request to expedite it. I didn't really see grounds to expedite it. There's some pretty serious allegations, and frankly, we were expecting it would go the other way around. If today the temporary order is not extended and made permanent, then that's going to make the court's resolution of that issue a lot easier.
Well, it'd also make it moot, because if say I ruled in favor of your client, Mr. Dale, on the motion to enforce, and then later I ruled that there shouldn't have been a stalking injunction.
Wait, you guys are saying does have a tendency to strike. This isn't their material. This is the freaking courts. Is it sealed? No, because they gave it to somebody else. Ooh, this is why I said at the beginning, we need to hear both sides of the story.
Well, I guess I can go, because there is an ex parte one in place. Okay, have a seat. Let me think through something. Thank you for your arguments.
Your Honor, may I?
Why did it just stop?
Respond to
there we
one
go.
thing he said?
Sure.
Thank you. The standard in the that is applicable to the ex parte motion and the enforcement of the temporary civil stalking order injunction is completely separate and irrelevant to the issuance of a permanent stalking injunction. The temporary one was issued, and it was effective, and there were violations of it. Whether or not the court decides to continue that and issue a permanent stalking injunction is a separate question. So I would argue that we can proceed on just the ex parte motion today.
But didn't I just see a request to submit just barely filed on 9/17? So just 5 days ago?
I'd have to check the date myself, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So I do think that there is a preparation time. We do have to give due processes if they weren't prepared to argue that today. It's not fair to throw it on them and put that in there. Let me just look at a couple things here.
Your Honor, I'm just going to grab my client.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get spanked if you weren't already subbed up to her. I thought you guys already were. We did that David live together. If you didn't, go watch after and give it a like and a view over at ATS. She's gonna be on here too, talking about probably David or Chris Watts. Or maybe this.
Okay, council, here is what I am going to suggest we do. In light of, it doesn't sound like, typically on these, we have limited witnesses or they proceed by proffer. It doesn't sound like either party, well, it sounds like one party is willing to proceed by proffer, the other wants to call witnesses. And we certainly do not have enough time to do it today to get everything in. So what I'm suggesting is I'd like to set this for October 16th. And in that time I could give you, can't give you the whole day, but I can give you a good portion of it. Does October 16th work?
Counsel for petitioner is available that day, but my client's still checking.
It works scheduling-wise, but I'm going to object.
Okay, Mr. Dunkelberger, I heard you say you're going to object. Go ahead and state your objection.
Yeah, just for the record, thank you, Your Honor. It was noticed for today. We asked for a stipulated continuance. We didn't get it. We moved for continuance. It was continued 3 business days. We have witnesses here from out of state to be sworn in to testify regarding their affidavits to proceed by proffer. It was scheduled patently for an hour. If counsel was unprepared to present petitioner's case within the time allotted, then it was sort of incumbent on him to contact the court and to determine how much time would be available. In the meantime, my client's civil rights have been severely impeded by the temporary order. We'd like to have it in court. A continuance of almost a month severely prejudices her. We've got that's recalling witnesses that have come from out of state. And we prepared because the court told us to be in court today, and we prepared for the time that the court had to give us. And it's simply prejudicial and unfair to respondent to have it continued at this point, particularly when counsel had every opportunity to stipulate to a continuance and make sure that the court would have time to hear hours of testimony. And that's our objection, Your Honor.
How many witnesses do you have from out of state?
We have 2 here today.
Okay. Mr. Dale, do you want to respond?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I don't think it's fair to put that on us. I mean, the hearing was set for 11 a.m. I'm sorry, but then there was no mention or notice that it would only be an hour. I apologize, but we were prepared to examine many witnesses to prove our case. Counsel had the same information, opposing counsel had the same information we did. For him to assume that he could call in witnesses today to examine them all in an hour, I mean, it's equally to blame. That's not a reason for to say that he was prejudiced. So, Your Honor, I guess I defer to the court on that. But,
okay, here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is we're going to get this on the record. We've got 2 out-of-state witnesses. I'm going to bring their testimony. I'm going to have you put them on the stand. We're going to continue this for the morning of October 16th. We're going to put these 2 witnesses on the stand right now, and we will let them testify. You can cross-examine them. Everybody should be prepared to do that because we've discussed it. And then we can, because your argument, Mr. Dale, is hey, we were planning on putting on all witnesses today and have them testify in cross-examination, so there shouldn't be any preparation issue there. You've indicated you're prepared, Mr. Dunkelberger, to move forward with those 2 witnesses. So let's put those 2 witnesses on the stand, then we will continue this until October 16th, beginning
Wait, Christina had the witnesses? This is insane.
at 8:30, and expect that it will be done by 3 o'clock on the 16th. Sounds like that did work for everybody's schedule. Okay, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Dunkelberger.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We'd like to call Janice to the stand, please.
Please stand right here.
Wow.
Please raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give and the matter before the court will be the truth, the whole
I'm
truth,
updating
and nothing
mine.
but the truth, so help you God?
Go ahead and have a seat.
Miss, could you state and spell your name for the record, please?
Yes, it's Janice.
Oof.
Okay. And Miss, in anticipation of today's proceeding, did you submit a declaration to be filed with the court?
Yes.
And did you have the opportunity to review and comment on the declaration before it was filed?
Yes.
Were you able to correct or modify or draft or otherwise comment or contribute meaningfully to this declaration?
Yes.
Did you authorize signature of this declaration?
Yes.
And did you understand that when you did that, you did it under penalty of perjury of Utah law?
Yes.
And do you certify here today that the declaration is correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
Yes.
Just by way of a quick review for the court, could you please tell us your relationship with respondent, Miss?
I met her in April 2024 at a trial, and we became friends. And we have continued to be friends and attend other trials together.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship with the petitioner, Lauren Matthias?
I met her, well, we were in Facebook groups for a different case, and I met her in April 2023, but we were never friends.
Has Ms. ever asked you to
Wow.
contact Ms. Matthias
Never.
for any reason?
No.
Do you understand that by discussing your declaration here today that it's going to proceed by way of proffer and it's going to take the place of your testimony on direct examination?
Yes.
And with that, Your Honor, I'll yield my time.
Thank you.
Wow.
Just a clarifying question. I wasn't clear on when you met my client.
I met her at a trial April, I think it was, I'm trying to remember, 23 maybe?
April 23?
I think, well, yeah,
Do you
23.
remember the trial?
Yeah, it was Laura Daybell's trial in Boise.
That's all I had, thanks.
Ma'am, you may step down.
So far, it's aligning with what Lauren said in her live.
No, I'm assuming no redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next witness?
Yes, we'd like to call Lindsay, please.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give and the matter before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Could you state and spell your name for the record, please?
Lindsay.
What?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Ms.
I'm shook,
And
you
in
guys.
anticipation of the hearing today, did you provide a declaration to be filed with the court?
I did.
And did you have the opportunity to review, draft, contribute, or otherwise put your seal of approval on the declaration?
Yes.
And did you authorize me to sign on your behalf and file with the court?
Yes.
And did you understand at the time that your testimony and your declaration could be offered in place of your direct examination here at trial?
Yes.
And do you certify that you understood that you were making the statements that you made under penalty of perjury of Utah law?
Yes.
And are these statements true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
Yes.
Just by way of background and a quick summary for the court, could you please tell me your relationship with Ms. Respondent?
I met Christina in April of 2024, and we became friends and have been friends since.
Okay. And would you please describe your relationship with the petitioner, Lauren Matthias?
I met Lauren Matthias in April of 2023, and we were acquaintances at first and then later became friends. And then we were friends in April of 2024 when I met Christina.
Okay. Was there any point at which your friendship with Ms. Matthias changed?
Yes.
When was that?
In December of 2024.
And what happened?
Well, I was freelancing, working for her, and that relationship ended. I thought we were still friends. We talked in December. Everything was fine. Then the next time I saw her in person was in April of 2025. And we greeted each other briefly at the courthouse in line for security. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. That type of thing. And I haven't spoken to her since.
Okay. Did at any time Ms. ask you to contact Ms. Matthias for any reason?
No.
In your declaration, you gave some testimony about an incident that occurred at a restaurant in Boise. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And was there any interaction by you personally with the police after that episode?
No.
Okay. Have you reviewed the police report that was generated from that episode?
Yes.
Okay. And you received a copy of it previously?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know whether or not that investigation remains open?
To my knowledge, it's closed.
Okay. And what's your knowledge on that based on?
Based on the police report, the officer talked to the restaurant, maybe the waiter, confirmed that me and my friends were at the restaurant before. We left after, and when the officer put in his report that he spoke to...
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
I'm just saying, why not get the audio and play both sides if you're going to do a 9-hour live about it?
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just... Yeah, if she's going to testify anything the officer says, it will be hearsay sustained.
Okay, move to strike, please.
Yeah, that's strictly any hearsay testimony, the rest of it.
Okay. So with respect to your review of the report, just to repeat for the court, you've reviewed the report?
Yes.
Okay. Was Ms. present at the restaurant in Boise?
No.
Do you know where she was?
Europe.
Okay.
Objection, foundation.
Sustained.
How do you know where she was?
Because she told me she was going to Europe.
But
Objection calls for hearsay, or is hearsay, excuse me.
To the mission by a party opponent. Overruled.
And in any event, she wasn't at the restaurant with you?
Correct.
Okay. Following the incident at the restaurant, or at any other time, have you, on behalf of Ms. ever reached out to Ms. Matthias?
Never.
With that, I'll yield, Your Honor.
Wow.
Is it okay if I drink one of these waters?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss, I was also confused by your testimony. When did you initially meet my client?
April of 2023.
2023?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard you say 24.
Sorry.
And how were you introduced to her?
I don't know. We were both at the same trial, and I might have introduced myself. I was there for work. I knew Lauren to be in that same industry. Just, hi, we're in the same trial, and maybe something like that. I don't really remember.
Okay. How do you know the respondent?
I met her in April of 2024, the next year, at a trial as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you describe your relationship? How would you describe your relationship with the respondent?
Really good. We became friends, kind of happenstance, but we had a lot in common and just kind of naturally became friends.
And you're still friends to this day?
Yes.
Do you communicate regularly?
Yes.
How often?
Multiple times a week.
Do you have a social media account?
Yes.
Do you follow the respondent's social media account?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the account titled Objection, Your Honor?
Yes.
What is that account?
Oh.
That is one of Christina's TikTok accounts.
You say one of hers. Does she have others?
She has a art account where she posts art stuff because she's like a artist.
Okay. Have you seen or watched, or are you familiar with the videos that are on the respondent's Objection, Your Honor account?
Have I seen them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All of them?
I don't know if I've seen all of them, but I've seen a majority.
Have you ever commented on any one of her videos?
Yeah.
How many times?
I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe?
Wow.
In those videos, do you recall the respondent ever referencing to a person as ex-friend?
Yes.
Who is the ex-friend, according to your knowledge?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation calls for speculation.
So you've seen the videos, and you just mentioned you have seen the ones where she mentions her ex-friend.
Correct.
Okay. Let me ask you, what is your understanding of who the ex-friend is?
My understanding, the ex-friend
Mm-hmm.
to be Lauren Matthias.
That's my client.
Correct.
Okay. How would you characterize the nature of the videos about the ex-friend, my client? Were they positive or negative?
Which videos?
I'm just asking for your overall impression
Okay.
of all the videos you said you've seen.
Overall
Were they
impression.
positive about my client or negative, in your opinion?
I don't think they were positive, but
Okay. So you can't say they were positive. Can you think of any video that was positive?
there were actually a few where they weren't about your client. They were about protecting like your own personal peace, things like that, things that were like kind of, I don't know, not like motivational, but like peaceful, like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. Do you communicate with my client to this day?
No.
When was the last time you communicated with my client, to your memory?
The last text messages I sent her were in January. of this year. I was asking her to coordinate a podcast collaboration. Those messages were friendly, business, professional, and then the last time I spoke to her in person was in April of 2025 when we briefly greeted each other.
Okay. Did your relationship with my client have any professional nature to it?
Yes, at one point it did.
How so?
After I left one of the jobs I was at, I was kind of waiting for my next one to start, and so we were friends, and I offered to help, and Lauren was very supportive of me at the time when I was leaving the place I was at, and so I worked for her and her husband freelance for a few months.
So you were an employee of hers for a few months?
I wasn't an employee, like, are you meaning legally? So it was like a 1099 contract.
Okay.
If that's what you mean.
When did your employment end?
I believe just beginning of December, approximately.
Do you recall any interactions with the respondent? Did you have any personal conversations with the respondent about my client, either before or after your employment ended?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, can you recall any conversations you've had with the respondent about my client?
Yeah.
At any time?
Yeah.
Okay. How about after your employment?
After? Yeah.
Okay. What was the nature of those conversations?
Can you be more specific? I'm sorry.
Sure. Whenever you were speaking with her about my client, would you characterize it as positive or negative?
I guess I don't really, I'm not, can you ask me that one more time? I'm trying to understand.
Sure. I'm just asking if the nature of your conversations you've had with the respondent about my client after your employment ended, were they positive about my client?
All objectives, lacks foundation, vague.
Yeah, sustained.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get why Christina, the alleged stalker, showed up at CrimeCon where she wasn't allowed to be 500 feet of Lauren. Good point.
Let me ask you this. How often would you say did you and the respondent have conversations about my client after you left her employment?
Well, at first we were all friends. So in that month of December, things were a little bit awkward between Lauren and I, and so I think that the conversations were based on, are you going to reach out to her? Like, do you think this is something that can be fixed? Like the friendship. And then after that, I'm not really sure. I am aware of I put in the thing about, like this case, like I know like in April, when Christina and Lauren had a conversation, like I knew about that.
Were you aware of, when did you become aware of the respondent's social media account about my client?
I'll object, assumes facts, lacks foundation.
She's already testified she's seen and reviewed all the videos and knowledge of the accounts.
So
Wow.
the testimony I heard is that she's aware of some communication there, whether it was on the Objection, Your Honor, a TikTok account, and that she understands that the ex-friend referred to there was referring to petitioner. So if you want to ask her about that specifically, or if there's others, you can ask, but otherwise the objection is sustained.
Okay. Do you recall speaking with the respondent at any time about her social media account titled Objection, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Describe that first. when you first became aware? Please.
I don't really remember. I think I would be guessing. I would be sure it was probably, I don't recall specifically.
Do you recall if the respondent alerted you or made you aware that that channel existed, or did you happen upon it on your own?
I can't remember.
So you don't remember the first time you watched a video on that account?
Oh, no. I can't remember if she told me about it or if it popped up on my page.
Okay. Are you, let me ask you this. So, do you know approximately how many videos are on that account?
No.
Okay. I'll represent you. There's over 50. Okay.
I'll object to the representation.
You can represent that. I just want some clarification. 50 of what? 50 total videos, 50 videos allegedly referring to the ex-friend? What are the
Wow.
Thank you. There are over 50 separate videos or posts on this, my objection, Your Honor, account,
50 posts.
referring to the ex-friend and discussing some of her private details of personal conduct.
Your Honor, I object to that. That's a fact in dispute in this case.
Hold on. I understand your objection. What you can do is you can ask her if she understands that there are 50, if that would surprise her. If she doesn't know, she doesn't know.
Have you seen all the videos, all of them?
No, I haven't watched every single video.
Are you aware of about what time they began?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what's your recollection?
Maybe in June,
Okay.
maybe?
Was this before or after you ceased working for my client?
After?
Okay. So to clarify, the videos began popping up on this account, to your knowledge, after July of 24?
25.
25, excuse me.
Sorry.
Okay. Did you have any involvement in making or creating those videos?
No.
Are you aware that there is a second social media account titled the same objection, Your Honor, on, I think it's Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen those videos?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
I can expand on that if you want a little bit, but.
Sure, go ahead.
So because I do other people's social media for work, I'm not typically logged into my own social medias. So when I do log on or switch accounts, like I kind of can't remember because I don't do it that often. I kind of don't really like social media for myself because I work doing it, so I can't recall.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
That's all right. I'll move on.
Yeah.
Let me backtrack just a little bit for sake of time. To your understanding, based on your conversations with the respondent, who's your friend, who you mentioned you communicate with several times a week, you said 2, what is your understanding of the purpose for which those accounts were created?
What's my understanding of the purpose of why those were
Why
created?
did the respondent make those accounts? Do you know?
Ooh.
I think because her art ones had like 50,000 followers on it, and she didn't want to put that on her art feed.
Put what on her art feed?
Other videos that aren't about art.
Other videos about who?
Other videos that aren't about art.
And what were the videos that weren't about art?
I'll
Were they
object
about?
as asked and answered.
Well, that would have been accurate before you asked this second question, but I think the second question is appropriate to overrule.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. You stated the respondent has another art account that she uses for art. I was asking you
Why?
So you said she has another account. She wanted. Why did the respondent, to your knowledge, create a separate account titled "Objection, Your Honor"?
Now that has been asked and answered. She said so that she didn't intermix. She's got her art account. She didn't want to run this other stuff on the feed. The
Gotcha.
question that the second one you followed up with was, what are the other posts or videos she's putting on the other account?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's correct. So, what are the other posts that the respondent made?
The other posts
That
on...
you referred to other posts that she didn't want on her art account.
Oh,
what were those videos about?
Those videos were Christina talking about her life, things going on in her life.
What was going on in her life at that time?
And I'll object. 𝐼𝐸 Foundation calls for speculation.
To your knowledge.
Hold on. I'm going to sustain that objection. Go ahead with the next
Okay. Do you have? Well, I'm just asking you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you understand those videos on her other account to be about? Or, excuse me, let me rephrase. Why did she create a separate account specifically for these videos? You mentioned she didn't want these videos on her other account, on her art main account or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is your understanding of why she created a separate account about other videos?
So I actually didn't really understand that part either. Like, I don't know. I don't know why she created the second account. I just assumed it was because she didn't want it on her art account. I'm not sure. I don't think we had a conversation of that. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Did I answer the question? I'm sorry.
Well, I think you have. That's all I have.
I know we're out of time, Your Honor. Very brief redirect here. The posts that you saw, did they contain threats?
No.
Did they name Lauren?
Hold on. I need some foundation. What post?
The posts that you were discussing, that you said that you saw
Yeah.
on these accounts?
On the objection, Your Honor accounts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
I'm going to check to legal conclusion, Your Honor, about threatening, what constitutes threatening language.
Okay. Overruled.
Did they refer to Lauren by name?
No.
Did they depict Lauren by photograph with her face showing?
No.
Wow.
Have you ever threatened Ms. Matthias or her associates?
Never.
Have you ever purposely stood in their space in order to menace them or intimidate them?
Never.
Have you ever seen Ms. MacArthur stand close purposely to Ms. Matthias to threaten or intimidate her?
No.
You mentioned some conversations that you'd had with Ms. that were about Ms. Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
During those conversations, did you ever hear Ms. MacArthur threaten Ms. Matthias?
No.
Did you ever hear Ms. MacArthur talk about encouraging someone else to threaten or menace Ms.
No.
Matthias? Those are all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Wow.
Anything else?
So, Your Honor, if I may, based on the foundation that's in the Janice declaration, I'd like to move for the admission of defense exhibits 11 through 13. Foundation's been laid, and would like the court to receive those.
What are exhibits 11, 13?
Yes, Your Honor. So there's one photo that depicts some of the people that are referenced in the declaration. There is the Boise police report, defendants 12, and then there's also a video that shows a proximity issue that was raised in Ms. Matthias' declaration.
Response?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I haven't had the opportunity to review any of these videos. They haven't been produced or presented here today. The declarations themselves have been produced, but they were only produced on Friday.
Oh, Your Honor,
So I would object to them being introduced at this point.
I sent counsel a copy of the videos. We actually sent a link to their, we sent a link to our exhibits within an hour or so of receiving their exhibits for the first time. And so, yeah, these have been provided ahead of time. They've had the opportunity to see.
Right ahead of time, you guys both exchanged exhibits on Friday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And we that's the first time that we had received them as well, even though they're referenced in the August declarations. And so again, that's done in anticipation of trial. If you'd like me to play for the court or show the court the exhibits.
Yeah, why did she make another account? Someone just said, am I gathering that she made an account for stalking purposes? Because she was like, oh, she didn't want to post it on her art account. That was a little sus, I'm not going to lie.
Happy to do so, but they should be admitted at this point.
What's your objection? Do you have a foundation objection, or is it just that you think you didn't see until Friday?
Well, I don't know what the videos are, so I'm not sure if they lack foundation.
Did you review the declaration?
I did. I have not received any videos contrary to, or any I haven't received the evidence that he claims to have produced. I haven't seen it in my inbox. I haven't seen any notices filed with the court that they were produced.
Your Honor, I'd be happy to provide the email that we provided Mr. Dell.
In any case, even if they were provided, it was just last Friday. I haven't had a chance to review
this is the problem with the cramming that's going on. Is we do have some real due process issues. First of all, are we done with Ms.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Let me sit down. Thank you. I'm going to withhold admitting those right now, and you can make that motion again when we motion to admit. I don't know that we need anything else from this. You're relying on our declaration to lay foundation. So I'll withhold admitting them. Are those that, you guys can sit down, are those the two witnesses we need today?
Yes, Your Honor. Just revisiting that issue, though, I mean, the issue that I'm having is I'd like to make a motion to dismiss the temporary restraining order today. Again, almost a month is a long time for a temporary order to last, and I think that particularly Defendants 12, the Boise Police report, is really central to the way that Ms. Matthias obtained the temporary order in the first place. She represents...
So that's going to be hearsay. I mean, let's talk about that. That's one of the things. That police report is hearsay, and her testimony doesn't get you past hearsay.
Well, so her testimony can lay, and if you like, I can absolutely lay foundation for how she received it. It's a business record. The police have kept it in the ordinary course of business.
You don't have an officer here.
This is a civil proceeding. That's right, but she can testify that she received it directly from the police along with the other videos and things that the petitioner submitted. And with that, it's kept in the ordinary course of business. It is a police report, but
she couldn't lay foundation. And you might look at it, she can't lay foundation that it was kept in the regular course of business. She's not the records keeper for the police department. And really, let's go to your primary point. I don't want to get caught up on that. Your primary point is that you've got some issues with the temporary stalking injunction being extended during this time period. And from your arguments previously, it seems like your client's primary concern is that this impacts her ability to make a living.
Yes.
And her free speech rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
Talk to me about the free speech rights. How does this impact her free speech rights?
Yeah, so with that, Your Honor,
and I read your case law. I want to know factually what in the stalking injunction prevents her from saying what she's saying. Go ahead.
Sure, Your Honor. Well, so, and we don't believe that it does, but petitioner has alleged that by posting videos, again, without using the petitioner's name or her likeness, that she has violated the temporary order. Now, the amended temporary restraining order does say to keep off online. The respondent understood that to be do not contact her on TikTok, do not contact her on Instagram or on any other platform. The allegation is simply by referencing, making a post that's related to the petitioner online, that she's somehow violated the temporary order. There's 3 videos that they claim have already violated it. That's 3 of the 6 alleged violations that they're prepared to talk about today. And so there's got to be some clarity there. That just doesn't jibe with Towner or with Fischler. Certainly the First Amendment allows talking to third parties or the public about somebody. That's Towner v. Ridgway. That's been the law for a long time. Fischler reiterates it. It's just plain letter law in Utah. She hasn't communicated through these posts to or specifically directed at the petitioner, and for that reason, I mean, she's basically gagged online at this point, according to petitioner. Now, we're hoping that the court determines and agrees with us that you can't interpret the amended temporary order that way, but certainly they've alleged that on the language on its face that she's not allowed to go online and to post anything related to the petitioner, and obviously that's got First Amendment issues, and practically it's unfeasible. Everybody goes online and everybody can comment with their friends. Instagram, TikTok, those are ways that we communicate these days, and certainly Ms. McCoy is entitled to communicate to her friends and followers via these online platforms. And it's simply unfair to go another 3 weeks just allowing petitioner to collect videos that have been posted that are First Amendment protected and bring them and use them as a cudgel when we get finally to court for the full hearing, which we thought was going to happen today.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and respond.
I have to object to the characterizations he's made on behalf of myself or my client and our positions. The evidence, like we're getting lost in weeds. The motion he made was based on the declaration, the testimony we've heard in the declarations, that the court should suspend the temporary order. Oof. But there is no evidence to suggest that. Like, that's not the question. The question, Your Honor, is whether or not my client has the burden to prove that it should continue. There's been no motion to set it aside at this point. So that's improper. That's not properly before the court. The rest is just argument and representations.
Why would he file a motion to set it aside? He thought he had a hearing today to deal with it in full.
Well, I'm just saying procedurally. There are procedural ways to do that. Those haven't been met. Satisfied. The other arguments about what's been said online or what they're about have yet to be proven and shown. Virtually all of what he said is not based on evidence that is before the court today. So the court can't make that ruling today.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and with that, Your Honor, this is a motion that we're making it. We learned minutes ago that this is going to be extended for another 3 weeks, and this severely impacts respondents' civil rights. I mean, this is what we have. I mean, at a minimum, we need a clarification for the amended temporary order that that makes clear that she's entitled to go online and talk about whatever she chooses to talk about online, and that certainly can't be a gag order that it has extended, that we're going to be on for a motion for sanctions about, and then that's going to go for another 3 weeks now.
Your Honor, I would object to the characterization of the language of the civil stalking injunction itself. It's not what he represents it to be.
Well, I'm reading it, so I can, and it's my order, so I'll make the interpretation of it.
Sure.
Oh. Okay. I do have, I'm not sure how this was interpreted, but let's go back to the purpose of an ex parte temporary order. That is to stop any harm. Specifically, we're looking at ongoing threats or physical harm that could happen. It's made without all the information. It's made simply, basically from one side, providing the information. As the ex parte order right now, it prohibits personal contact and prohibits threatening, annoying, stalking, harassing. That will remain in place as is. As to the no contact order, that will remain in place. Specifically as to the text, mail, email, or any other communication directly or indirectly. In other words, I don't want them talking to each other. Now, it does identify other people and family members for sure. So Mr. Matthias is sure going to be covered by that. As to Grace and 𝐼𝐸, is there any reason that your client would need to contact Mr. 𝐼𝐸?
Miss 𝐼𝐸, but no.
Oh, excuse me, Miss 𝐼𝐸, thank you. Okay, then Miss 𝐼𝐸's included on this. Son is covered by this. So that will remain in place as well. As far as the stay away order portion of it, stay away from her home, that will remain in place as well. Is there any reason why she would need to go to near a job site or a school of Ms. Matthias?
Well, no, but just to clarify, I mean, there's public places where they both may
I'm going to
think.
deal with that.
Okay, so no,
Wow.
not in Henderson, Nevada.
Okay. And then I think this is the provision that may be misinterpreted here, that she's prohibited from online forums and social media accounts. But that was in kind of in parentheses, TikTok, but then it says down there the 2025 CrimeCon Expo that was in Denver, Colorado, September 5th through 7th. When I was reviewing this, that was what I was looking at, was that CrimeCon. I in no way intended that the respondent was to be kept off of social media sites. I do think that's freedom of speech issues, and I don't think that this order was intended to cover that. So she can get on those now. I guess she runs the risk if she's on those and those are interpreted as annoying or harassing, although I will say that's a fairly high bar in the sense of just because somebody says something you don't like, that's not going to be a violation of a stalking injunction. And there would have...
What? The judge is like, that's not stalking. Do I need to clean my ears? Did I hear that right? Wow, I'm shook.
Have to be directed comments that were clearly meant for a specific purpose. Yeah, but, you know, there was, in obtaining the order, petitioner made some allegations that she had strong belief that she was in immediate danger in relation again to the CrimeCon that was in Denver, Colorado. Now, as to the work environment, it does sound like the parties may attend similar court hearings. I'm assuming court hearings. Is there any other public buildings where they need to be in the same spot?
Well, the accompanying press conferences and other kind of public places is what we're talking about.
Okay. As to those, I do think that this order is not intended to stop Ms. from working.
So I would object to that characterization, Your Honor. Sorry, the respondent doesn't work at courthouses. She's not a criminal investigator. My client is. So the representation that they need to appear in public, they may appear in public places based on her employment is not accurate. She has no employment in this field.
I think it's not disputed that they're public places. It may be in dispute whether they consider her to be a professional in this field. We certainly do call that a disputed issue, but it's not disputed that they're public places.
What does she do?
She takes photos.
She's a photographer.
Yeah.
She's not a photographer for the court?
Hold on.
Sorry?
Well, that's true. She's a freelance photographer, and she also is, like everybody, trying to make her way in this true crime industry.
Well, and I have freelance for you.
Oh, that's
Okay,
Christina.
that's right. She does freelance work for some
That's Christina in the background,
national news outlets you would have heard about.
right?
Okay. Yeah, let me address the public place argument first. That doesn't fly because stalking injunctions often cover public places. However, it does sound like she has a right to be there and she's got a purpose for being there. And if that's the case, if she's there with a purpose, then she can be there. The order is that they will keep, that she will keep her distance because Ms. Matthias, she's not a respondent, there isn't a counter one. So Ms. is required to keep her distance from the petitioner. Now, it's hard to say exactly how far that is because it may be different if we've got a media scrum or something and we've been taking photos, then it may be closer. But she certainly cannot be right next to her. She certainly can't be making faces to her. She can't be making gestures. She can't be making comments. None of that can occur. If they're in the courtroom, like a courtroom here today, I'd expect that they would be on opposite sides of the courtroom. So I expect to receive a modified temporary civil stalking injunction with those changes incorporated.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm sorry. There is actually one more place where the online stuff and the social media, way down at the bottom with other relief sought, is actually where I was quoting from earlier, where it says that she's not allowed to post relating to or referencing petitioner. And that's, I think, one of the things that we need to clarify.
I think that respondent shall cease and desist any and all online activity and communications relating to or referring to the petitioner, her immediate family and extended family members.
Is that portion subject to the court's clarification on the other bit that you just made?
Yeah, now I think I was clear before that I expect her not to post anything necessarily that she's running a risk. If she posts something negative about her, that's something she can, I guess, theoretically do. But she needs to be careful in walking that line.
Is there any clarification you could give us on what might be qualified as negative?
Well, if she's threatening her, again, we have to go back to the purpose of a stalking injunction. If she's threatening her, if there's a harassment that would cause emotional harm. I mean, all of us run the risk that somebody's going to say something bad about us. Whether that turns into harassment is, I think that's a high bar.
Is there any evidence?
Let me be clear on this, Mr. Dale. This civil stalking injunction was in no way meant to silence what Ms. is doing. And I want to be very clear on that.
What?
And any permanent stalking injunction will not be for that purpose.
Is he saying that it's not to silence Christina? I'm shooketh. I'm shooketh.
That is not what a stalking injunction is for.
I guess I'm looking for clarity on what it is the court is basing its ruling on when it says what she does or what she's doing. And
what do you mean?
So the respondent isn't a true crime investigator. She's a photographer. She has an art channel on Instagram. She has separate media accounts, social media accounts that discuss solely the flaws of my client, to air them, to cause her harassment. I guess I'm not sure that, but we haven't had the chance to provide all that evidence yet, so we'll do that at the next hearing. My concern, though, is that based on just the testimony today, that has not been challenged or refuted, and so there is still an outstanding concern that the activity we've alleged that is happening online and in person and to other contacts has not been refuted properly and is not.
Yeah, and I'm not making a final ruling. I'm making a temporary order.
So if the order is to remove this online protection from specific directed, harassment, embarrassing things that would cause my client emotional distress, I guess that's what I'm looking for clarification on. Is the court withdrawing that based on something it saw today? Because there isn't anything we've seen today that would.
Well, I think what the court is looking at is we're trying to get more clarity than a one-sided order that was initially signed. That was based on one-sided information.
Sure, and we don't mean to interfere with her public or First Amendment rights. But to the extent she has made specific channels titled Objection, Your Honor, that are about my client, we would ask that protections or restrictions on those accounts be held in place until we can have a full hearing.
That seems to be directly a freedom of speech issue.
They're directed at my client.
Right, which is a freedom of speech issue. You can say things about people. We may not like them, but we can.
I'm dead. What? This is crazy. So is this why Lauren canceled this whole thing? Because the judge wasn't going to stand behind it. Wow.
And say things. What she's prohibited from doing, let me be clear because you're asking for clarity.
I don't know.
She cannot threaten. She can't threaten her physically or her family. She cannot defame her. If there's a defamation, then that's something that's illegal and would fit under a stalking injunction. I think that's what we're looking at is that she can't do.
I can represent to you that there are many, many videos that defame my client.
Okay.
So I would ask that that temporary protection be in place until such time as we can review, the court can review the defamation nature.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm amending it, saying that she won't threaten. We're going to be very clear online. She won't threaten. She won't defame. Okay?
Wow.
Whether online or other.
Well, she's not talking to her in person. I expect zero communication.
Yeah.
As far as she can't talk to her, she can't email her, she can't text her. Mr. Donkelberger, I want to be clear, she can't do that through a third party. She can't send a message through a third party. There is to be no communication there. The other parts of the civil stalking injunction remain intact as well. I don't want her near her house.
Does the 500 feet specifically remain?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, as to her house. Now, like I said, the only exception to the 500 feet is if they're in a public space that they cannot be 500 feet apart. And then I expect them to be as far apart as reasonably possible. That's language I want in there, Mr. Dunkelberger.
Yes, Your Honor.
But otherwise, that is 500 feet. So Mr. Dunkelberger, if they're in a mall, your client needs to move away 500 feet. If they're in a restaurant and if your client comes in second, then your client needs to not go in and needs to leave.
What if it's the other way around? What if she was there first?
Well, and why would your client go in if she's worried, about her health, if she knows her there?
That's the key. If she knew, if she didn't know she was there, but the respondent says, well, I was here first, what should my client expect to do in that circumstance?
Well, I would expect if your client is worried about her safety, when the reason we got a stalking injunction, and she goes in there, she would leave. Now, if by chance we've got Ms. McCarthy is in there, I'm assuming your client's not going to go over and approach her. I'm assuming Ms. McCarthy is not going to approach her and that she will leave, provided she's finished her meal. But I expect that there would be no communication, there would be no, again, facial gestures, anything of that. They'd finish their meal, they'd go on their way. We got to be careful how we're using the tools of the law in this courtroom. And I expect the parties to use common sense. Okay, Mr. Dale, anything I've missed on you that you want else addressed?
Let me review the language, Your Honor. Oh, these clarifications you're making, I assume they apply also to the other protected individuals, her husband, her son, co-workers, etc.
Went through that, yep.
Okay, I think we did. Professional associates, other known professional associates of my client. Can we retain that?
She's not. They're not covered under this list. So no, they would. So you can have contact with them. What I did prohibit is third-party communication. She can't send a message through one of them.
Understood.
Wow.
With respect to,
go ahead.
Sorry.
Finish on.
With respect to the online posts, I think that's the biggest concern for my client. In addition to defaming statements, is there any other clarification the court can give on what would constitute a defamatory statement? So that there's no argument. So there's no like.
What's legally defined as defamation? It's got to fit the legal definition.
Okay. What about harassment?
I don't know what that's going to qualify as, and I can't get into everything. I would say, Ms. MacArthur, I'd be careful in the way you do that. But again, if she's just saying negative stuff, this is not, again, a stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case.
Well, again, Your Honor, I would argue that we're not asking to restrict her speech. She can still go anywhere else.
That is speech. Online speech is every bit as protected as anywhere else.
Some forms of speech, like threats and defamation, are not protected.
And that's what I put specifically.
And if that's the best we can do, like that's most clear we can be, I understand. I just thought I'd ask for any additional clarification you can give to be instructive to both parties.
Yep. Okay, I think I've been clear on that. Mr. Dunkelberger, anything from your side?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, with that, we'll plan on seeing you. We've got the two witnesses. I will just save the time. Outside of the parties themselves, if you've got out-of-state witnesses, they can attend virtually unless they're going to be presenting hard evidence. In other words, documents or some other type of physical evidence. If they're going to be doing that, I want them here because it gets real confusing with the technology. And so other than that, if they're out of state, they can appear remotely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we will be in recess. Thank you.
All rise.
Wow. Oh, sorry. I can't believe it. I cannot believe we just heard that. I'm shook. I'm shook. What do you guys think? I mean, I wonder when the next court hearing is. Wow. I mean, you guys heard it. You guys heard it. I don't even know. I don't want to clown anyone or dog anyone up here because I'll get shit for it. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the live. I was like, we want to hear both sides. And I think although it was court hearing, that was kind of listening to another side that I think Lauren failed to share. Now, that's right. The judge wasn't on board for permanent restraining order, but protective order, can that change? Yes. I guess Lauren's entitled to feel how she's entitled to feel. But at this point, like, why put it out on a live for 9 hours if and you know it's going to be public information? And you probably knew that going into it because you're a true crime creator on YouTube on a very public platform. I don't know. It's just, I'm shook. She dropped the case. But if she was so scared and worried for her life, why would she drop the case after the judge denies that? Well, the judge didn't agree that it was stalking and that the stalker's at fault here. I mean, yet. To be fair, you didn't hear the rest of Lauren's. I didn't. So maybe we'll finish watching it tomorrow. I feel bad that we were just watching it and then cut right to this. I have already seen a lot of Lauren's like broken up, but definitely we can come back here and watch it. Why talk about her child? She did not have to bring him up on this, not online. I agree with Spee. I agree. Children are off limits all across the board. I don't care how hood or gangster you are, children are to be left alone. Period. There's nothing that could ever change my mind about that. I'm very big on crimes against children or any weird shit against children or anything involving children. I'm very, very sensitive to that. Drop this and is consider pursuing federal. How can she pursue federal if a civil judge didn't even find it legitimate yet? I can't watch that again, but I'm definitely interested to see if it changes your mind. The stalker girl is psycho people. Is she? Okay, so maybe I need to do some research tonight and maybe watch a few TikToks. And, you know, I don't like the whole hiding behind the paywall, though. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, we need to see the rest of the video. Okay. Claudia says I don't believe her. Again, maybe Lauren feels harassed and she's entitled to that. I'm not knocking her feelings or her fear. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be a bully. But how are you going to make a 9-hour stream with paperwork and evidence and exhibits, and you just left this is exhibit out? She knows how to get FOIAs and documents and access stuff. So why not request it and play both your side and her side in the hearing in that 9-hour live? I just feel like we should have got to hear that. She's slandering her. Yeah. I'm certain the child testimony would not be public. No, the judge redacted, the name was redacted. He said the child's name when he was saying, or the lawyer, I think he was saying, like, does this protect her husband and her family? And I think the judge said the name, and it was redacted. So, hey, Wispy, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to Mellyverse. We get wild over here. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Yes, both things can be true. The stalker can be psycho, but that doesn't mean Lauren isn't being petty. And this is, I accept your opinion, Speedlets. I will hear you out. What was the kid going to say on the stand anyways? Yeah, what happened with Lauren's son? Like, did she approach him? I know she was taking pictures. But how did the son get brought into all of this? Is it because he was hearing Lauren talk about it at home? How does one son get involved unless there's something that we're missing, right? Maybe there is. Exactly, ATS. Why does her son know what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. How would he know? Yeah, I think he's 8. Like, how would he understand, like, the stalking side of it? Like, I guess I need to know more. I need to know more. But we heard the hearing, and there you go. There you go. He would only know because she can't stop talking about it. Yeah, 8-year-olds are smart, but that's what I'm saying. He would only know from what's around in his environment. Unless Christina's popping out of the car, showing up at school, like, calling the kid if he had a phone, or I don't know. Like, I feel like, how did he hear all these details? She said in 9 hours that she talked about it with hubby in front of the child. Okay. Well, then that's not the stalker's fault, alleged stalker that she calls my stalker. That's not her fault. He probably has social media too. He's 8. I don't know. I don't have kids. Let me know how young you're letting your kids on social media. I don't know if I would let my kid at 8. Maybe they could hide it though. I don't know. No way my kids would be unaware. Yeah. That was crazy. Shout out to ATS for sending us that, and we got to listen to it. Wow. I can't believe it. Anyways, we'll finish watching it. I'll play Kenzie text tomorrow because some of you are about to freaking show up at my door because I didn't play the Kenzie text. So we'll do Kenzie text tomorrow, and then maybe we'll continue the if I do a daytime live, then maybe we can do the rest of the hidden true crime live. If not, we'll wait for the weekend. Yeah. So CrimeCon was okay as long as the stalker was 500 feet. Yeah. That's wild. I'm sure Lauren probably already got the word that her shit's out. Her business, her court hearing. Anyways, we'll definitely stay caught up on this. Please, please, please. Thank you, Wispy, for being here. Yeah, tune in. I have lots of videos you can go back and watch. And we'll be back tomorrow with more reading of Mackenzie Shirtla text messages. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. Please, please, please. We're gonna say answer Melly or open the door. There's issues. You guys are gonna call me like Kenzie did to Dom. And she's like, I'm gonna break the door. Anyways, try not to cheat looking around for Mackenzie. I'll be watching some of you cheaters. Just kidding. Anyways, okay. I hope you guys have a good night. Tap the little like button on the way out. Please, 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 please. It really helps. Shout out to all of you guys for hanging out tonight. I hope my head hurts. Yeah, have a good night too, Wispy. Thanks for becoming a member. And shout out to all the ones that sent super chats. Turn on your notifications. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thank you for being here. Like I said, hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.